7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Hey guys, welcome to the stream. Hope you guys are well. Yes, today we are gonna be doing something different. But before we start that, I want to say hi to everyone who's joined in, come in early. Hey, Intanin, how you doing, man? Hope you're well. Hey, Shaw, welcome in. Guys, excited to see you guys here. Yes, was an interesting evening yesterday. I think, yeah, I had a hectic amount of work. I wanted to cut an intro, but I didn't have time because today is the day when I, have to pick up my son really late. But we're gonna go do things today. We're gonna have a lot of fun today. Just want to say hi to everyone who's popped in on the stream. Hope you guys are all well. Yes. Hope you guys are well. Yes. Okay. Without too much ado. Yes, today we're going to be deconstructing Arne's slots tactic live on the stream. I plan to cover his tactic, but before I do that, I want to give credit where credit is due. I've got a lot of these images from the Athletic. I've got some of them from Coach's Voice, Charlie Ellis. Of course, we're going to be using understat.com for a lot of our data, so I've got to credit them too. The thing here is this: it's really simple. You know what I mean? I don't pretend to know football. Okay, what I do, I mean, what I'm trying to do here is, because I'm making this content. Okay, I aggregate the information for you so that I put all this information together, what I think is relevant to the game of Football Manager, and to make life a lot easier for you guys, right? I mean, where do you go? What kind of information you want to get? I mean, when you want to try and transfer that stuff into football tactics. So that's what I've done, and I hope that it comes across that way, and I hope it's helpful. So on today's show, what we're going to do is, we're going to deconstruct his tactic. They've been playing phenomenally well this season. We're going to take a look at how they build out their play, how they, control midfield. There's a very important factor or a very important facet of their build out in midfield that we need to cover, and I've done it in some of my tactics, but we'll do that on the show today. It's about stagger. Now, how do they do that? Step ladder through the middle. I'm going to show you how they've done that. And along the way, I'm also going to show you how their strikers are getting into the third, what kind of roles they are using. And finally, right at the end of the show, or towards when we've done a few matches, we're going to be playing with Liverpool as well. I am going to share the save with you guys so that if you want to, you go out there, you do your own spin on the tactic and tell me at the end of the day how it's done. Yes, come back on the stream, upload those tactics, or upload the saves to me, not the tactics. Upload the saves. I'll give you a link so it's easier. You don't have to use all those other websites which give take forever to upload. I'll give you one from my dedicated Dropbox, and you'll be able to upload your saves in no time at all, and I'll be able to download them in no time at all. Because if you use any of the other links, man, I think one of you did that recently. Download. It's like 6 hours, man. So I had to switch over and give you one of my links, and the download was 1 minute. So yes, on today's show, we will be doing that too. But without further ado, let's get cracking, okay? Let's get cracking. So let's not waste any time. Of course, you guys know that if you want to catch anything, right? Anything, all you got to do is there'll be a guide coming out on the other channel very soon. So it'll be focusing on, I'll cut down the stream and I'll make it available for you guys, right? So it'll be there too. And yeah, maybe even your saves will be featured on that. Okay, first up, before we go into this Liverpool thing, let's talk about one very important facet of how they play, okay? All right. Now, when it comes to this Liverpool, right? First up, we're going to have to talk about their build-out play, all right? Their build-out play is really important. Now, one thing, they set up in a 4-2-3-1, right? Everybody knows that. It's like clear as daylight. Okay, so it's 4-2-3-1. But there are significant differences to an orthodox 4-2-3-1. All right, very significant differences. Okay, so here we've got how they build out their play. They got the 4. You can see that the 2 defenders come inside the area, the 2 other fullbacks here. But look at these 2 midfielders. They are plonk in the center. But this is where it stops being like a regular 4-2-3-1, right? So they're gonna have a stagger. This guy's gonna drop in. This guy's gonna go into the space. They can pass through the lanes. I'll show you how that is done. But you can see over here as well when Diego Jota has the ball. Here over here when Diego Jota has the ball, okay, all right, very simple. You see what has happened here? The goalkeeper has the ball. Diego Jota drops in. When he drops in, this is what the defensive midfielders do. When they drop into this space, they create the first stage of their stagger, which is, they can pass the ball to, because the defenders are, what they're doing is they're drawing the press. Against a lot of teams, that's exactly how Liverpool play. They want to draw the press. So when they draw the press, they can create space. So Jones will drop into the hole to receive the pass, or, to receive the pass generally, and the other midfielder will move into a channel to receive the diagonal. Now, the interesting thing about the way they do this is they always pass it to the preferred foot. Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but have you noticed how Ryan Gravenberch seems to turn on the coin, right? He spins so well. That's because they're always playing it to his preferred foot. That way they can do the diagonal passes up that ladder really quickly. It's like, remember the step ladder from Fernando Diniz? We were talking about Dinizism a while ago. It's as if we see a bit of that now here as well, because they'll have a step ladder. They'll have this staggered midfield where they will be able to pass the ball diagonally quickly up the pitch, but they're always passing to the preferred foot. Now here you can see as well the other build-out phase. The thing about the way they build out is they're always going to be narrow in the build-out phase. Now this is important because this actually sets, Diogo Jota. Not Diego, I know. I have a habit of calling him Diego because it's Maradona that's in my mind all the time nowadays. Okay, so here check out the build-out phase. Liverpool are always narrow in the build-out. Okay, why are they narrow? Because they're focusing play through the middle. You don't have to use the focus play through the middle to get this achieved on Football Manager. I think it's a bit of an overkill. So all you have to do is play with a narrow defensive width, because narrow defensive width will always do this, right? So your players will come inside. You can even play them opposite the flank of their preferred foot, but we'll get to that later. But what's more important is this coming in inside of the fullbacks, and then you see the stagger has already started, right? Because he's drawn the press, right? You can see that this player, the defender, has drawn the press as this player comes in. Okay, in doing so, when he goes in, he becomes free, right? The midfielders come inside as well as passing options. Okay, so something to bear in mind when you're looking at the build-out phases. Now, again, this is another example of that midfield stagger I was talking about. Now, here we go, 1-2, Gravenberch. Either Gravenberch or either one of the defensive midfielders does this, right? So they're always dropping into this hole to receive the pass so that they can transition the ball up really quickly. And it's always short passing that is the tool that they use. Here again, it's all about baiting the press. Now, whenever Liverpool are playing out from the back, they will always attempt to bait the press. In baiting the press, they're actually creating space for that defensive midfielder to receive the pass. So when they bait the press like this, they can cycle back, go this way and come down here, or they can have another passing option, right? So generally, one of the midfielders is always going to be dropping into the hole here to receive the pass. And then the whole idea here is that diagonal passing that they can do. Once again, he's in the middle. There's a stagger. You can see the stagger here. Now, one of the things that I like to do in last year was to run at defenders with ball-playing defenders to dribble more, right? Because this is how we get it to happen. This year, we have liberos, but liberos take up too active a position. So, but Liverpool are playing with a double defenders. They're not really liberos unless, of course, there might be rare occasions when one of the defenders actually pushes out. Like last night, Van Dijk actually did push out at one point. So here we got another stagger. Again, you can see the midfielders are pretty narrow. The formation is very narrow. Look at where the 8s are positioned. These are the 8s, right? This is like, it can be Harvey Elliott, it can be Dominic Szoboszlai. They are the 8s. And look at the striker. The striker is not pinning the defenders down. He's not an advanced forward, right? He's not a poacher. He's a role that will be moving into the channels, because all 3 of these players in the final third move into channels. By doing this, again, you have the midfield stagger to move the ball up the pitch. And then the reason why they do this, why do they draw this midfield stagger? Why do they pass it through the middle? It's because in doing so, they congest the opposition team into the center, thereby creating space out wide so that they can play that pass into space, get behind defenders. It's something that they are trying to they leverage off the pace of Luis Diaz and, of course, Mohamed Salah. And whenever the number 8s get in, the number 8s are the principal, playmakers. You've got Szoboszlai, and if Harvey Elliott is fit, he's fit now, so he will play this pass into this channel where Luis Diaz will attack. Either that, or it goes to the right flank, it will be Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai will do the same for Mo Salah, but there is a distinct difference. It's not as clear-cut as that. You'd have to look at a few of the games, and you'll notice that there are all kinds of movements. Here again, we've got the players moving into the middle and looking for that. By doing the midfield stagger, they're able to create space down the flanks for their strikers to attack. These are all things that we want to try and do in the game of Football Manager. Finally, whenever they're playing against a team that's sitting back and defending for 90 minutes, right? They want to play football. What happens then is there's no have you noticed no deep diagonal passing? Of course, TA is injured, but what Arne Slot does with his team, and this is one of the reasons why he's been playing with Connor Bradley, apart from any the injury to TA. Connor Bradley is not uncomfortable bringing the ball out from defense and dribbling with the ball, so he likes that. So he employs players who can bring the ball out. So all his defenders are ball-playing defenders willing to go up the pitch. Now, this deep positions of the fullbacks, notice that you still have that one midfielder who dropped really deep, and then we've got the other midfielder here. We got the 2 wide out, and this allows when Connor Bradley brings the ball, there's also a flank focus play. Now remember this, right? When you do a midfield stagger, it's about getting that play into the channel so that it's available for the diagonal pass. You can also do that with focus play, right? So focus play down the left will encourage the central midfielders to move out to the area of the focus to support play, which is exactly what we see over here. And then finally, another example of how Liverpool tend to build out in a very narrow shape. Again, we've got the 4 here, right? But look at how they're positioned. We got Curtis Jones, we got Diogo Jota, okay, dropping into this hole. But now he's playing more like an orthodox poacher. So he's sitting on the shoulder of the defender, not dropping deep, because Curtis Jones has dropped deep. In doing so, what they've done is created a stagger again. So how effectively you want to create the midfield stagger depends entirely on what you want to see in your transition. Now, if you want something like this, then you're playing him as a poacher, right? Or a pressing forward, right? So in this particular case, it could be a pressing forward. And then we've got the number 10 playing here, Salah playing here, McAllister, who would be the other number 8, right? So then we've got Tsimikas coming in narrow. We got Alexander-Arnold coming in narrow. You can see the stagger again. Defenders having a stagger. Debate. Do you want to play him as a libero? You could. You could still get a stagger. In fact, if you play him as a libero, you get a brilliant stagger. But some people might be purists. Purists might not like that. So if you want to get this impact as well, you can use dribble more. Okay. Here again, now this is where we talk about their defensive phase, right? So we've done the build-out phase. Now let's talk about when they don't have the ball. How do Liverpool line up? Liverpool actually line up in a 4-2-4. They do not line up in a 4-2-3-1 when they are defending. When they've lost the ball, they drop immediately into a 4. You can see the backline is already in these positions. The 2 midfielders will now anchor and stay in front of the backline. The important thing is there's no space. Hardly any space between the lines, right? All the midfielders are placed here. Remember how I always make it a point of pointing this out whenever I'm playing? So whenever I'm playing, I'm always trying to make sure nobody comes here. I want them all on this side so it's easier to defend. But more importantly, look at the 4 here. This is not a high block. This is a mid block. Now, last night against Man City, Liverpool went from a high block, mid block to a low block. It made me so nervous watching the game because first half was a high block. Then after that, it became a mid block. I was thinking, okay, not too bad. And then from the 60th minute onwards, it was like, oh my God, they're playing a low block. Liverpool was so deep. They were in a low block for a really long time and they were just going for the counter. So Liverpool's tactical system is not cast in stone, right? It's not like, oh, we're going to be playing a high block all the way. No, it's a high, mid, and a low. And their mentality as well changes during games. You can see that the players sometimes they're more attacking, they're more direct with their passes, they hit the lanes, and other times they're just playing it short. Here, you can see this is the important thing about the final third. The final third attacking phase will always see one of the defenders really close to the strikers, right? Trying to get into the what's the word for it? He's trying to break the offside trap. Okay, so now again, are you going to play a pressing forward? Are you going to play a poacher? Are you going to play a complete forward? In this phase, a complete forward on Football Manager could be here. So what role do you choose? Because it's really important whenever you play Football Manager to ask yourself, I've got 3 phases to look at. I need to hit the nail on the head 3 times. So here, Mo Salah is actually making an underlapping run. So, I mean, Mo Salah is looking for the underlapping run. He's not making the underlapping run. It's actually coming from Szoboszlai. What Mo Salah is actually doing is he's looking for the underlapping run. So he's looking for somebody to make a run from behind him into space. So he can play that pass into that channel over here, or he can release one of these players and play the pass there. So Mo Salah is a creative influence. To get that impact in the game, you need a wider player to hold up the ball, looking for inside runs from his players. And then finally, yes, it's a beaming Arne slot. A tactical system that he's used in the last couple of months. He's taken this Liverpool team, and the interesting thing about this whole thing is this, okay? Liverpool right now are utilizing something that Jurgen Klopp wasn't doing when he was the manager. He's using the midfielders, the technical ability of the midfielders to break teams down. In previous seasons, what Klopp used to do was to use the pace and the power of his wingers and his inside forwards to put so much pressure on teams that they would start making mistakes. His midfielders were grunts, hard workers. All they did was keep the ball. You hardly ever saw a deep diagonal pass from one of them. But now with Arne's slot, the style is totally different. Yes, we still can get the rocky kind of like attack a team into submission, but more often than not, there's some conservative play in Liverpool, as in they change their tempo, they change the style of passing, and they are able to hold down leads. And to do that, they're actually doing it with a mid block or even a low block. Yes, their build-up style will not change with high or mid or low block. You don't have to go and create multiple different tactics. What we're gonna do on today's stream is slightly different. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go into the safe at Liverpool and we're gonna craft a tactic, trying to see whether or not we can get those transitions working. Now, once again, right? Most of these observations, now some of them are mine, but I've also, aggregated what I could find. So if you want to go and check out stuff, you should go and check out Charlie Ellis. He's got a blog on Medium. You might want to check that one out. Of course, you go to the Athletic. There are lots of places that have this kind of information. But before we jump back there, we are also going to go and check something else out. So we got this 4-2-3-1, right? So want to look at the stagger again? Okay. So how does the stagger work? Okay. So essentially what happens is that you might have this defender bringing out the ball, right? He will drop into this hole. We need to get away from the press. Then we get this guy, this guy. See that? It's a step ladder. Fernando Dines, we thank him for doing this, because I covered this on Dinism. We were talking about Dinism and relativism, right? Okay. So these guys move in here. So now we got the midfield stagger. Boom, boom, boom. Ball goes up the pitch, and they're always passing to the preferred foot. Now, what happens when the ball is on on the flanks. Okay, when the ball is down the flanks, it's almost the same thing, right? It's on the flanks is easier, right? So we go ding, ding. So we got 1, 2, 3. Then this guy will drop here. 4, 5. Midfield stagger again, right? They got a midfield stagger. They go down the lane and they'll get the number 10 might end up here. Right? Number 10 sometimes ends up here. Then Mo Salah could go inside here, right? Okay, they're swapping of players, but again, it's a step ladder. So that's what they try to do. So if you're going to be creating Football Manager tactics, or any other tactic, right, we're going to have to be able to replicate the stagger. So here we go, guys. First up, okay, I've started this new save, right? I mean, we're going to just take this new save, and then what I'll do is I will save the tactic, okay? And then we'll call it slot community save. All right. So I'm gonna make this save available when I finished. Okay, not when I finished. Okay, basically, create tactic. We're gonna just load some rudimentary tactic first, and then we'll worry about it later, because the game of Football Manager requires you to load a tactic so that all the other managers get their tactics. Apparently, we have to do that. I know how annoying it is, because when you play Football Manager, you go in like, "Oi, I don't want to set up the tactic." I did mention this to someone before, and they said, "Oh yeah, all you got to do is the reason why we need that done is because, hey, the AI needs all the tactics." Okay, so we attend the meeting, we end the meeting, continue. All right, take set piece introduction now. We come in here. Okay, all right, we go respawn again. How do I do it? Oh yeah, forgot. I haven't done this in a long time. I've not done tactics, setting up corner routines in a long time. Okay, finish. We'll come in here. How do you do this? Okay, load all routines. Go in here. I don't know. Maybe this is new. I don't know. We'll worry about that later. We'll sort out. Okay, we won't do short, because they don't really do short, right? Okay, they're all near post or far post. Yeah, so we'll just set everything up to near post. Okay, done. And then I won't be doing the priority list as well. Set pieces, we're gonna have to do priority list, right? But I haven't done this priority list yet. So we've got this done. Now we go to training. We just skip. Let's finish. I'm just gonna hand the training over to the S-man. Okay, so training, staff responsibilities. I mean, if you want to take over, you can take over training, but I'm not going to do that, because we just want to look at the tactics. Delegate, confirm. Okay, yeah, it's not going to be good. We might have players injured, but we'll have to manage that. Okay, tactics. Skip first. I think we've done almost everything we need to do. That's it. Okay, schedule. Do we need some friendlies? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll be fine. We'll just add 2 more friendlies. 1 here. Oh, sorry. Friendly, multiple friendly matches. We got 2 here. Then we choose one. Quarrel. I don't know. We're picking. We just pick somebody. Oh, apparently we're in the US on a tour. Okay, done. Okay. We're gonna go on holiday now, because we're gonna leave it to the S-man to get the team ready. 12th of August. Be back on the 12th of August. And then we'll get to the next stage. So the idea here is to get this. So how many of you, so now while we wait for this to get sorted, right? Okay. I'm gonna ask you a question. Okay. Now, how many of you out there think that Liverpool, right? How many of you think Liverpool are actually playing a 4-2-3-1? Or, they defend like a 4-2-4. How many of you agree? How many of you disagree? What do you think Liverpool are doing? I don't think everybody is going to agree. Intani has got no idea. That's interesting. Arne is in the house as well. Quick kicks. What win was that last night? I absolutely love Slot. Magician. He's been a magician, man. I'm currently trying a 4-2-3-1 as Arne Slot tactic on my save. That's nice. Sure. Says is a 4-3-3. Interesting. Oh, yeah. 4-3-3, you probably would struggle to make it, because the idea here is when you're making a tactic in Football Manager, right? This is the important bit here. Now I'm doing it without trying the tactic out in preseason. We're gonna try the tactic out in regular season and see whether or not it works. When you create any kind of a tactic on Football Manager, you've got to start with the defensive phase. How does the team look in defense? That is your most important consideration. Okay. So you got to get those guys into those positions first. Now, attacking phase, they will get into the final third. But looking at Liverpool, depending on who they play against, the fullbacks could be attacking, and sometimes the fullbacks got to be on support. Like last night, Liverpool's fullbacks were support duties. And then at one point, they even look like defense duties because they were hardly ever going up the pitch. So it's going to be, I don't think in this game, when you go in, you should be rooted to one idea. And one other thing that you got to bear in mind, a large part of your football tactics comes with two things, right? You got to pick the players with aggression and work rate. You know, Arne Slot systems cannot work without aggression and work rate. So if you go into the game and you try Arne Slot's tactic with a team that's got poor work rate and no aggression, I don't know what to say. I can't say much, man. I don't know what to say, man. This is going to be fun. Yeah, okay. All right, here we go. We're back. Okay, so now we're going to start making the tactic, right? So we're going to come in here, create the tactic. So we create our own style. We'll take a 4-2-3-1 DM. Okay, so this is what generally is thought of as the system, right? So what we'll go in here, we'll set both these guys as ball-playing defenders because that's what they are. However, this is Virgil van Dijk, right? So he'll dribble more. Okay, we're going to try and get him to dribble more. The goalkeeper is going to be a sweeper, keeper, and support. Because I don't want to play him on any other role because Slot also uses him to initiate attacks. But there are times where the sweeper keeper is actually initiating the attack. Have you noticed how many times the keeper sometimes sends the ball into the channel here looking for a quick 1-2? So it happens with Alisson as well. So we're going to use that sweeper keeper on support. Now, finally, we've got the fullbacks. Now, the fullbacks, there are several things we can do. What we won't do is give them PIs first because we want to see how the tactic plays out. What we do know is we can drop it to narrow. Okay, so now the defenders. Now, the challenging thing about both the defenders is they both drop deep. Okay, so, and one of them needs to move up in creating a stagger. So what we can do is create like a DM on support and we can get a segundo volante, right? So we can, this is like kind of safe, not too crazy. Okay, finally we've got the roles up top. I would say we're going to use a pressing forward on attack. Now this role is going to be important because now when the players move up the pitch, he's going to move into this area. The segundo volante is going to end up here, right? So when he ends up here, he's going to encourage this guy to move up, so we get our 4-1-4-1. So there are two ways we can do this. One is he can be a segundo volante on attack. Hey, come back here. Okay. Now the old way of doing this, right? I'm like in Football Manager, 22, in Football Manager 21. How would you get the stagger? A lot of people do the stagger by playing asymmetrically. Got a stagger here. It's an asymmetric stagger. It's beautiful. It's simple, right? But because of the positional play feature in FM24, we don't need it anymore. But now what we need to do is just pick the roles that are going to force a positional change and then determine which of these roles will encourage our players up front to move into those channels. So we know that we can use a segundo volante. I mean, you could use double segundo volantes, right? Both of them actually, but it wouldn't be good because one of the DMs hardly ever moves up. Like Curtis Jones could end up in this position as well. Sometimes he uses Curtis Jones here too. So I'm like, yeah, it's kind of funky. All right, so we play an attacking midfielder. Can we play him a support or attack? That's going to be the one that we're going to have to discover later. So up top, definitely wingers on support. Okay, so we're playing both of them as wingers because we're looking at Mo Salah first up. Okay, Mo Salah is playing on the right. So where is he? Mo Salah is left-footed, right? So this is perfect. Because he's playing as a wide winger and you are going to have the underlap and we are playing narrow, he's going to come in, right? Okay, so you're going to try and get him to come in. Now, what we want from this player is definitely moving into the channels, because all of them move into the channels. So he's going to move into the channels. All right. And then we can get these players who are out wide. The challenge with these roles is if you use the inverted winger, right? See it? Okay. Now, the important thing is, I remember I said about moving to the channels. Notice when you come to this to these roles, right, you can't choose move into channels because they're already so wide. Okay, so we go back to winger. Keep it simple, right? We're gonna keep it simple because we want to start from somewhere. We're gonna start from somewhere. Okay? We're not gonna start from like, hey, this is exactly the correct tactic, whatever. We gotta start from somewhere. We got Cody Gakpo. Cody Gakpo is right-footed, correct? Right-footed. So what do you get with a right-footed player playing on the left flank? Cuts inside, moves into the channel. Brilliant. Okay, we don't have to worry. We don't have to worry. Now we've got a pressing forward, AM, volante, DM, fullback, ball playing defender, fullback. Okay, done. We've got a basic look of the tactic. Right. Now, remember this, the pictures I was showing you just now. Okay. So if I go back to all my pictures, and we have to go all the way back to the front. Okay. So what we have here is the build out, right? Look at this build out. So we want to see this in the game. See this? And see these two players? These are the two wingers. Who are these two players? This one is a striker, one is the AM. So one of the AMs has moved into this position. Right? The other AM is in this position. Right? He hasn't busted a gut yet. So making this a segundo volante makes some sense. Right? These two guys are sitting very narrow. Okay, because they're, I mean, how do we get this in Football Manager? This guy's gonna come up, so he's still gonna be stuck in the middle. So we're gonna roam and move into channels. Okay, so we got a width coming from these two, and maybe we can even use a pressing front support. Okay, maybe. I don't know, man. We're gonna have to be very, very careful because see that this is a striker, this is the AM, these are the two wingers. This is the build-out phase. We're trying to replicate the build-out phase right now. Okay, so the striker could be on support. Now remember this, we're gonna have to use an underlap. Two, we're gonna drop the passing to just one notch or short. Tempo is definitely not slow, right? Tempo is mid. Okay. Now player or defense is a mandatory instruction because that's what Liverpool are doing. Remember what I said about just now? They bait the press, right? Okay. Oops. There we go here. So I'll show you baiting the press. There we go. This is what Liverpool are doing in all their games. They are baiting the press. So they want the opposition to press them. So that's why they do player or defense. So if you ever see one of your football teams and they're playing the ball and they're doing this, it's not because they want to try and play our defense. They're intentionally doing it. They want to create space for the defensive mids. Okay. All right. So we come inside here, play our defense there. Now in transition, what are we looking at? Now, Liverpool definitely counter press, but they don't counter all. 100%. This is not happening in every single game. They counter only when it makes sense to counter. So we're going to leave it here, distribute the fullbacks. Okay, we've done these instructions. Now let's go into this. Liverpool are definitely playing as a mid block. But, okay, and this is where everybody is going to go, oh my God, how I can't play as a mid block. I know. Okay, nobody wants to play mid blocks. Prevent short goalkeeper distribution, right? They do put pressure on the... This is the interesting thing. Your prevent short goalkeeper distribution will be on sometimes and off sometimes. You want to replicate Liverpool, right? There's no such thing as one tactic. No? Because Liverpool, when they go into a mid-block, did you see last night when Liverpool were playing, when they tried to build the play out from the back? There were times Mo Salah wasn't running anywhere. He was just holding his position. In fact, when they switched into this, my heart sank. Last night, I was like, no, please. I was praying, at the 60th minute because I was getting nervous because Liverpool had switched into a phenomenal low block and I was nervous as hell because the boys were just letting City come into their half and I was sitting there going, oh no, I can't take this anymore. This was happening last night. So if this happens, your tactic will change. Standard trigger press, low block, standard defensive line. But this is what they always do, invite the cross because they're very, very narrow. So Liverpool is actually playing like this in most of their games. Standard defensive line, sometimes the first half against City was this. First half when they're looking for the goal. The moment they stopped, they got the goal, they swapped into this straight away. They dropped their line to a standard defensive line all the way in front of the box. No. Sorry, tiki press. It's not in football. Okay, this is the thing. Tiki press. In the game of Football Manager, if you stop cross, your players are going to go wide. Your fullbacks will be the first to engage. They are not. You want your wingers to come back and help you defend. That's when you put invite cross. Because that's exactly what Liverpool were doing last night to Man City. When they came into the third, when they came down the flanks, Liverpool did not want them to go through the middle. The whole game. There was no through ball. Look at the number of threaded passes from the middle from Manchester City last night. One big fat zero. There was no threaded pass from the middle. You look for one threaded pass in the middle. There was 0 threaded passes last night. Okay. What Liverpool were doing was telling City, hey, you go down the flanks. And what happened when Doku showed up? When Doku showed up, they let him run down the flanks. All they did was they got Trent Alexander-Arnold because Trent Alexander-Arnold could not carry the ball out. He could not carry the ball out. And that's when Kwanzaa came in. And he played as a fullback. So yes, they are not playing stop cross. They are playing invite cross. Hey, Culture Dave, thanks for the 17 months, brother. So they are playing invite crosses. So if you play with stop crosses, what you're going to see is an entirely different setup. Liverpool will not be defending narrow anymore. Liverpool will be defending narrow. So you need to put invite crosses. I mean, it's really at the end of the day, that's my opinion. Okay, that's my opinion. And of course, you know, most people will play it differently. The goalkeeper, that's why when you say, when he distributes long to Salah, is you can't go into the game and set that up. Then he'll more often than not do it. So that's the reason why we left it as sweeper keeper on support. So they occasionally, what he'll do is you look for that pass. All right, so we're going to play this on positive, shorter passing. And this is the setup, you know. We will dribble less first because we'll leave this unchecked. We'll leave everything else unchecked. Okay, low work ball into box. I think we'll leave work ball into box. We'll turn work ball into box. Okay, then we got a start. Okay, so we got this as a start. Let's see what the AI does. Okay, Nunes, McAllister, Salah, Diaz, Alexander-Arnold. We'll put him here. Endo. Okay, put him here. Put McAllister here. And then where's Gravenberch? Gravenberch here. All right. Then you got Robertson. So this is basically, to some extent, how we would set them up. Okay, now let's go and watch the first game. All right, let's see whether we can get this done. Okay, we're gonna skip all this, and then let's look at our bench. Joel Matip, Endo, Diego Jota, Curtis Josh, Cody Gakpo. We'll start with Cody Gakpo. Harvey Elliott, and then Connor Bradley is injured. Joe Gomez will have to come on the bench for him. Joel Matip, doesn't he leave the club? Wanted by Arsenal in my game. Okay, filter, unavailable. All right, there we go. Let's submit the team and see how they play. Once again, it's only what I'm doing is I'm just sharing. When pressing high, they are in a 4-2-4, but defending on OHA is closer to a 4-3-3. The thing is enough. I probably, yeah, like I said, you know, everybody's gonna have their own thing. Exactly. But what I have here is an actual image taken by a lot of people. A lot of people have been observing that they are doing a 4-2-4 like this. This is not pressing high. This is holding the line in a mid block. Right. So this is Liverpool in a mid block, and they're doing this against Wolves. No, they haven't scored a goal yet. So more often than not, they're playing a mid block. They just allow the team to come in here and they do that. So we are going to definitely play Liverpool in a mid block, which is more realistic. So I'm gonna stop this and then come in right here, and then we're gonna skip this. I'm gonna have to stop that. It has to be automatically. Okay, we're gonna come in here now and drop this into a mid block and do this like that. Okay. Now, if I wanted to create a more aggressive tactic, it'll be Joey Go Smash. No, you can't. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't do that, basically. Yeah, the AI algorithm is the one that chooses your roles and duties. Okay, so we're gonna come out with this. We're gonna watch it on 2D first. Okay, so they have the ball. See, this is a pressing forward. Oh no, we have to go on comprehensive. We are on comprehensive. Okay, so then they're half. Again, they're not playing as a 4-2-4, right? You can see that. They don't almost. I mean, this is almost pressing like a 4-2-4, but not entirely. Okay, that's a good press. They won the ball. Salah with the ball goes wide. Now holds up the ball, looking for an inside run. Oh, he plays that pass. That's not too bad. Gravenberch is quite high up the pitch. Okay, the other. Oh, I know what to do with Gravenberch. Roaming playmaker. I forgot. This is what we can do with Gravenberch. Actually, I was thinking, I need him to play those simple passes as well, and sometimes play that split pass. McAllister is a DM, suppose line. All right, not too bad. Yeah, we're gonna put him as a roaming playmaker. All right. So far, we're getting. I want to see the movement. Okay, we don't want them to get too aggressive because we don't see this typically in Arne slot system. Gravenberch to McAllister to Soboslai, out to Salah. Salah will come inside. There we go. All right. Plays the ball simply. Gravenberch can't get there. Okay, McAllister. Robertson. Roaming playmaker or Segundo Volante. We're going to try both roles. Nah, definitely I'm not going to use a CF. Yeah. Because you see, the thing is, this is the thing, right? At the end of the day, people might go into, we have to create like a 4 because that's what Liverpool are like. Actually, it's one of the reasons why I showed you these images. This is Liverpool attacking. Do you see a 4? Do you see a 4? Who's the 4th striker and where is he? This is an image of Liverpool attacking. A lot of the matches that they're playing is exactly like this. They congest the middle. So what they do is, if you play an attack like a poacher, you're not going to congest the middle. You got to play support striker. The support striker, you don't want him on top. They will get into the final third in the last few minutes. My roles are slowly changing to like now DLF on support. Yeah. SS DLF could work. Yeah, I'm thinking that could be another one. Yeah, I'm not going to strikeless. Yeah. The one that I have that could work is the 4-1-4-1, but that is too aggressive for you guys. And it defense is a 4-2-4 as well. So I like the tactic. Because that actually defense is a 4-2-4. My Joey goes smash, right? But if you play that, if you take out the libero and play the ball playing defender, it will defend like a 4-2-4. Now we got 4-2. There we go. Who says it cannot be like a 4-2-4 at this point? Right. So this is correct. This is what we want to do. We got the 2 8s here, right? But he's playing like an 8 now. So this guy is wide. The only problem is Gravenberch is too deep. He doesn't go forward into the diagonal. So they're not really getting those passing. They're not getting the passing lanes moving. Okay, one way I know this will happen is you play this as a libero. He'll push this guy up and you get your stagger. Problem is, we already play him as a roaming playmaker. Is not going there. I'm going to turn this guy into a shadow striker now, but that's going to mess up the whole build out and the stagger because I'm trying to get the stagger. Yes, sometimes, occasionally, not all the time, but his passing is not through balls. It's more like a short pass. He will rotate the pass to other players. Here we go, McAllister for Jota. Jota is in. Soboslai takes the shot. That's not too bad. Okay, that was our Soboslai coming in, but now he's becoming more of a goal scoring threat. Alexander Arnold with the corner. We haven't set up the tactics, set pieces. Yeah. Cody Gakpo, Jota getting to the ball but stopped. Jota is injured. Again, this is a stream, so it might not work out exactly the way we envisaged, but our goal is to get there, not come up with a tactic and I'll tell you, hey, this is the tactic that Arne Slot is playing. Salah is pulling out the ball with back to go to play 1-2. No. Like you want to get the impact. Was this, you just play him as a underlapping striker. That's all. He will look for a player to pass the ball to. Our job is to try and get The stagger. Oh yeah, I forgot to add something. Wonder I don't get the stagger. Okay. Focus play left and right. So you need to give him a chance to look for runs from other players, and the other players must be making those runs. So you have to choose the right roles. Gravenberch out. Okay, good ball. The other thing we want to do is you want to draw them into the middle, right? Okay, so Gravenberch, Diego Jota in. Okay, all right, not too bad, but West Ham already scored. Okay, remember Liverpool also go into opponent's thirds to look for goals, right? So we're not going to play a mid block now. We're going to go high up the pitch, and Liverpool are a goal down, so we're going to go attack. Szoboszlai. Salah is free now. He's got options. That's what we want to see. Okay, we got the equalizer. Gravenberch scoring from outside the edge of the area. Who hasn't seen it? Okay. So we got Salah looking for the pass inside, then goes in. Then we got Alexander, the fullback, coming in narrow. Yep. All right. Okay. Now we go back into the mid block. Oh, let's just. There's nothing wrong with changing your blocks. I'm not the sort of person that believes in just staying on that one tactic, unless, of course, I'm playing a system like Go Smasher. Yeah. We got the 4 now strung. Okay, playing there's an 8. He goes in. Mo Salah gets into the area. We got support. And okay. Hey Rocco, thanks for the follow. Okay. So we're gonna keep this simple. Gravenberch. Okay, now the thing is, okay, watching a for again, right? So we got this congestion going on. 4. Dribble less. The tempo is fine. Passing is short. That's okay. All right. So Bozlai losing the ball now. I've seen that. Last night. Bradley's inside runs quite easy. I haven't done that part yet. Sit narrow inside with the ball. That's it. Then you see Bradley's. We haven't done that yet, because the fullbacks are making inside runs for Liverpool. So we haven't added that. We just want to create the stagger first. See, we want to create the stagger effect so that we can. There's always a passing option and we can move the ball. There we go. Another stagger effect. So we want to create the stagger. I think hopefully you guys remember earlier, right? I showed it to you guys. What we want to do is create this. Okay, so we got the 4, the 2, right? So we want to create this kind of a, like I say, this the one you learn, and we're going to create this. It's called a stagger, right? So the ball can transition up. Now the stagger should appear on both sides of the pitch, which is why we have focus play as well, right? So it's like, I mean, he could be here, and then he could be here, right? So we get a stagger again. So it's really important to get that. So to do that, we need to use focus play, and of course, we haven't added the last piece of the puzzle. The last piece of the puzzle is going to be, for me at least, is going to. Oh yeah, sorry, we cannot use my set pieces. I just realized. Okay. My set pieces are a bit crazy. Okay, so we gotta take one guy back. Where do we take him from? We got a lot of players attacking the box. Who's A1? Attack near post, lurk near post, attack near post. We'll take this guy out, and then we will. How do I? Okay, we put. Stay back if needed. Okay, done. Okay, that's it. Attack. Yeah, we'll just do it like this. I mean, of course, go out there and create your own tactics. Fullback or supports. All the fullbacks are supports because they're all passing the ball inside. The fullbacks are not passing it wide all the time. A lot of the times you see the fullbacks coming inside, like here. Again, once again, right, this image here. We got Boom, boom, boom. There we go. See all the fullback, where the fullbacks are coming in. The fullbacks are coming inside to receive the pass. You see this in a lot of their games now. The fullbacks are playing as false fullbacks. For Liverpool's fullbacks are false. Now we got them all into their areas, right? So we've got all of them congested in the middle, which is a reason why we need to play wingers, because wingers will stay wide. So wingers will give us our width in our tactic. We can actually leave it at this one. Now, the question is Jota's role. Do we play him as a deep lying forward or anything else? We can now probably think of, yeah, that's it. And he plays simple. Yeah, this is what Darwin Núñez also does, right? Like, he plays it out and gets into the box to finish, which is what we will see. So deep lying forward and support will hold up the ball, looking out for runs from other players. If I play a complete forward, then it's a bit high and expensive. I don't like playing. Okay, I'll be very honest. I don't play with a complete forward. I think it's too there are too many ifs and buts and high requirement for players. So we just want to make a tactic that could possibly work for a lot of people who want to make their own tactics. Mo Salah goes wide. Yep, okay. Try to run at defenders. Fine. Now out wide. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so what I'm looking at is quite okay. So we got DLF on support, winger. We got underlapping play. We can leave this. We got roaming playmaker in Gravenberg. I wanted a bit more aggression from him. We could also play with a Segundo Volante. But I thought the Segundo Volante was a bit too deep. And roaming playmakers will come back and help us redistribute the ball. So Bradley, all we have to do is ask him to play as a false fullback. And the false fullback is inside is in arrow. Instead of run wide with ball. Yeah, just leave him there. So Liverpool looking for the goal, right? So we're going to keep pressing. Once Liverpool gets the goal, once they score, or depending on the opposition, West Ham, I think we should be able to beat them, right? So the posture that Liverpool take against teams that they can beat is aggressive. So it goes wide, Gakpo again. Okay, fine. Okay, what about low cross? Okay, low cross could work as well. So I'm dropping the instructions one by one. I tend to change in games. I don't always play with low crosses. Yeah. Andy Robertson, Cash for Bosley goes out. That's an interesting position for him to take. Okay. Alexander Arnold coming inside the area, taking a pot shot. Okay. All right, let's look at this in 3D sideline view. Okay, Konate pushing up. Okay, that's nice. We got a stagger. I got a stagger already. Yeah, we got a stagger just now. I was watching for the stagger. So we can do this, and this, right? So here's Cam. He doesn't need to now. He's got, because this guy is marking him already. So Konate can now bring the ball out. Gravenberch makes himself available. Then plays a simple pass to Robertson, Gakpo, back to McAllister, Jota, Soboslai, out to Mo Salah. Ooh, that should have been a goal, man. How about the left winger being an inside forward? You can also do that. Okay. You can play him as an inside forward. Okay, we just leave all the PIs alone. I think what we're gonna add now, we're not gonna have the tight tackle ladder. Robertson doesn't always come inside. He always goes wide. Right, so we leave him as a fullback here. He sometimes goes wide. I rarely ever see Robertson attacking like this. However, okay, this role here, he tends to cut inside because that's how I see them playing. It's because of the inside runs of the fullbacks. Whenever you want to tell if a side is focusing play down the flanks, right? Okay, when you watch the game of football, look for the number 8. Is there a number 8 on the left side of the pitch or the right side of the pitch? If you see a number 8 on the right or the left, you're focusing play. The concept of focus play in Football Manager is not I want to focus my football on this side. No. It's not, no. If people get this mistaken assumption that focus play means I'm building all of my attacks on that side. No, please don't. It is definitely not the definition of the game. That's not what it's meant to do. You have to think about how it impacts your tactic. Focus play moves a player to the side of the focus, right? That's it, and it helps you transition, generate more passes in the area to transition the ball out. Now, because Arne's slot is doing this midfield staggers, he gets a stagger, he gets a step ladder to move the ball up the pitch. You need to employ focus play on both sides. That way, you always have the extra passing man for your tactic. You get your third man runs. Okay, now we gone into normal and we'll just berate the boys. Half time. Okay, so we got this. Yeah, okay, so this is the build out phase, right? What we saw earlier. Okay, we got the 2 here, we got 1 here, and then we got the 2 wide. Okay, all right. Mo Salah, Szoboszlai. Okay. Mo Salah goes back. McAllister, Gravenberch a bit high up the pitch. Nice. Mo Salah in that area. Gravenberch again. That was not too bad. Of course, you can do like a overload on one side of the pitch with focus play, and if you want to attack that flank, right, the inside forward channels flank, then you can do that as a matter of fact. You can do this like that, and then you remove the underlap. Then what you get is, okay, we are gonna focus play down the right, and then release. The reason why I didn't do that is because of this image. See this image? This image clearly told me that there's no focus play in the Liverpool tactic. Where's Harvey Elliott? And where are the players here? This is a transition through the middle. Transition to the middle. I wanted to make sure that there is a 50-50 that we can get all kinds of attacking shapes from Liverpool. Right? Because they're doing this, all right, there's no, you see, if there's a heavy intensity, what Liverpool have been doing in their attacks is this is exactly what they do. They move the ball through the middle, okay, and then they get the space out wide. And that's what we want to do. We want to create a balanced system. When you focus play down the left or the right, you create more space in certain areas. So the other option is actually this, okay, which is something that I haven't tried yet. Okay. Oh, sorry, wrong tactic, wrong instruction. Okay. The other instruction that I haven't tried yet is focus play to the middle, or no focus play at all. I already said Kostis Larsen, they are playing differently in a game. So there is no such thing as one Liverpool tactic. If you come up with one Liverpool tactic, I will tell you, no, they didn't do that in the 30th minute. They were doing something else. You go and look at no football manager now goes out and says, okay, boys, this is what we're doing from the first minute to the 90th minute. That's so not happening, man. That does not happen in football anymore. Yeah. It died like 30 years ago. No one, it died with Mourinho actually. Yeah. Mourinho was the last manager that did that. The whole one style of play for 90 minutes. He was the last real manager who did that. Most other managers don't do that anymore. Okay, all right. So Salah is now injured. Okay, who do we play out there? We play. We put Jota up there. Jota on the right. Jota is right-footed or left-footed? Yeah, right-footed. It's gonna be like a winger. No, I think undo. We bring we undo. We bring Harvey Elliott on. The only thing I don't like about this is it's not as aggressive as I like. Yeah. Because the engine loves space. The engine loves space. It will attack us no matter what. So we can now we can go into like a more aggressive block. Okay? So we're gonna go into like a really mid block and drop this. Okay. And then go mix passing, no focus play, no work ball, no low cross, all mix. We're just gonna do something different. So we're gonna do something entirely different now. Okay, so play Liverpool's mid block. All I can say is that when I watched Liverpool play last night against last couple of matches, right? I watched Liverpool play, and they can be very boring. They can be very businesslike in their approach to matches. So much so that when I'm watching the game, I'm going like, oh god, this is sending me to sleep, man. When are they gonna start attacking teams? Yeah, Luis Diaz, not for Gakpo. And the other thing about Liverpool, and this is going to be sad as far as Football Manager is concerned, you don't see them substituting their two DMs. So which probably explains why the lack of intensity sometimes in their matches. Harvey Elliott comes inside. The fullback is still staying back there. See, even you don't play with the underlap. Play with... Oi. I don't really like the focus play to the middle. Okay, we're gonna remove that. Yeah, I'm gonna remove the focus play to the middle. Absolutely detest that instruction. Oh, we don't even have it. Okay. I want to put that focus play on the flanks back. No, yeah. Everybody was used to the entertainment that Klopp offered. Now it's different. Now you just don't, you counter press, but you counter. Virgil van Dijk, okay, losing the ball. That's because of the dribble more instruction. All right, we're gonna play pass into space now. Robertson out back to Virgil van Dijk. McAllister, Szoboszlai is forward. Okay, there's a passing options already. Harvey Elliott loses the ball. There's no dribble. Okay, we're gonna have to remove dribble. There's gonna be no run and defense in this tactic. Because there's a lot. Liverpool play with a lot of short passes. Kudos. 74th minute. Who wasn't used to the ping pong? Everybody loved Klopp's ping pong style. It made for gripping television entertainment. So we got underlap now. See, the play is not attacking the hole there. So they don't find the play with the pass. So if you do this, you're creating all that. It's not. Okay, good. All right. Put ball into box. So far, we've managed to put a lot of pressure on this team. Okay, so we're gonna I'm gonna save this as version 1. Okay. Slot 1. So we never tried this tactic in preseason. We've come in first game of the season and we created a tactic and we're hoping that we can put it to work. The problem is I'm managing Liverpool, right? Okay, better not get fired. Darwin Núñez with the ball. Okay, what does he do? Pressing for support. He's gonna look for options, right? He's gonna go and then loses the ball. Okay, it's all Darwin. Okay, Szoboszlai. Okay. I'm getting a bit of the bottom. Yeah. So we remove the focus play instructions as well. Just left it like that. But the underlap is still on the right side. So that's what encourage Mo Salah to hold out the ball and look for runs. But the problem is the defensive phase. Yeah, right now I'm not getting the 4-2-4. Harvey Elliott, Darwin, good ball to Soboslai, but he's offside. But does that happen a lot? Curtis Jones has scored a few goals, playing that position. All right, last few minutes. Curtis Jones or Soboslai. Last change. Now, Liverpool's XG is quite high. Quite high. Well, we're looking like they settled into the defensive shape, but we cannot pull this West Ham side out. Which means that now we have to get these guys up the pitch. Fullback attack. He has to be comfortable with fullbacks that are attacking as well against defensive teams. That sitting back, Arne Slot has gotten his fullbacks to drive up the pitch. Okay, so we managed to get a goal from a Virgil van Dijk corner. Hey, we got a set piece goal. Boom. All right, Virgil van Dijk, true to form, has come to our rescue. All right, we go into a mid block. We're still in a mid block. Yeah. What did I do? I just played in mid block. I didn't do anything else. Yeah, we're playing a mid block. Okay. All right. So we've been playing a mid block and we got our the goal that we wanted. We dropped the thing down to balanced. Drop our mentality down to balance. We don't have to go into a low block, can we? I think we can. But the thing is right now, right? That's what I want. That's why I play invite cross. You see this? This is the reason why I play invite crosses. I don't understand. People do come in. People do come into the game and go like, Daljit, why you play invite crosses? Okay. The reason why we play invite crosses is this. If you don't want this guy to come out too early and open up space, you see what's happening 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Invite crosses keeps your defense narrow. When they do that, by becoming narrow, these guys will help you come back. Right? So watch what happens. The ball goes here. He's not coming out. No? He's just staying in close proximity to his backline. The backline is still narrow. Ball goes out wide. He still stays in his position. He goes to the outside where he's supposed to be. Right? So that it's harder to pass the ball to these two. This defender is holding, he's marking this, but this is the important player here, Harvey Elliott. Now, if you look at Harvey Elliott, he is coming back to cover, right? So here, he's covering the angle. And that's what we want. This is the reason why invite cross. I know in Football Manager, invite cross means I allow you down the flank, try and cross the ball. I'll be narrow, so I'm going to defend against the cross. It's something that Liverpool were doing against Manchester City last night as well. McAllister with the free kick. Okay, over. Wow, City have beaten Spurs 3-2. Who's this? Andy Robertson. Oh, that's why he's gone attack duty. So his mentality has become quite aggressive. That's one of the reasons why he stepped out. Andy Robertson came forward. I don't know if you guys noticed. Earlier the whole game, right? My fullbacks were not doing this. No. So I know something is wrong. See, Gravenberch has moved to this side of the pitch to cover for Andy Robertson, who's decided in his infinite wisdom that he wants to be up here. Gravenberch covers the area, playing as a roaming playmaker. One of the reasons why I love this role to death. This is by far the best role in the game of Football Manager, the roaming playmaker. Okay, so we get him coming back. This is why invite crosses is something that you want to pay attention to. Now, invite crosses will fall apart sometimes when you have fullbacks on attack, right? So if that happens, you want to look out to see what your fullbacks are doing. So especially if you've got them as, you know, on attack. Gravenberch out to McAllister. Good game. All right, so we got our first goal. Okay. So now our tactic is more or less something like this, right? So slot 1, something like this. Okay. Fullback support, super DM, roaming playmaker, invite. But we only have the underlap on this side. We've taken out the focus play. Yeah. One thing you notice I was doing, right? I was playing with pass into space sporadically. I was trying to be as boring as possible. Right, not going for this, and then we played a mid block. Now question mark is going to be this combination here. Can we use other combinations? Okay, what we'll do now is we're going to change the combination, right? We're playing Brighton away from home, so what we're going to do here is we're going to play with a complete forward and support, and then we'll play with the AMA on attack. Okay, and then we'll ask you a roam position. Now what we'll do is we'll turn this guy into an inside forward on attack. And we'll play him more like, AM on support. We roam from position and move into channels. Would that work? We'll play AM on attack. So we get all them coming in. This could be a complete disaster. But we'll never know until we try it, right? Okay. So once again, guys, after this, we're gonna, we play a couple of matches and then we're gonna, what's the word for it? Share the save. And I'll make it available on via a link, and I'll share it on chat on the stream in a bit. I'll have to do all kinds of funky things while I'm doing that as well. Okay, so better get it ready. And then oh, you're done. Okay. Skip. Tactics. Next game. Okay, skipping to this. Who should we play here? Right flank, we'll play Harvey Elliott. Who else plays here when Liverpool are struggling with injury? Yeah. Play Luis Diaz for this game. Gakpo can play on the right, left. Okay, we'll play Gakpo here. And Diego Jota in front. Now we'll play Darwin Núñez. Jota can play on the right flank. Okay, so put Jota on the right flank. Okay, so Bozla in the center. Or rather, this time we'll put Curtis Jones. Try different Liverpool players out. Give them a chance. You know what I mean? Okay, alright, you don't know what I mean. It's so terrible when I say that. Even I get annoyed. Yeah. Okay, we want to make sure that so far we've been noticing that this role has been moving in and out. So we know that this role has drifted to the left and the right, which is what we wanted, right? I wanted this role to drift left and right, and it could be it could be quite a number of roles. This role is cheap. The cheapest role, I think the one that will fit Liverpool the most is a deep line forward. Definitely not F9. So the only it's not really a pressing forward, and we need some role that moves into channels because they all move into channels. So except for the wingers, our wingers are always going to be wide, right? Okay, so next game. Second game to go. So the goal here is to replicate his tactic. Now, this is not the only tactic we're going to try. Okay, this is not the formation. We're also going to work on a 4-1. 4-1-4-1. Okay. Yeah. 4-1-4-1. Because a 4-1-4-1, a 4-1 we're gonna work on a 4-1, a poor man's 4-2-3-1 as well. Good reading of the game. Virgil went there, read that. Jones now brings the 4 forward. Out to Darwin Nunes. Goes inside. And then loses the ball. Luis Diaz is an opening goal. Liverpool playing a mid-block out of the gates very quickly. Okay. We got Darwin Nunes pushing through, which could happen. And then Gravenberch high up the pitch. And Jones. Okay. Gravenberch does go up to support the attacks, edge of the area. That's what we normally find him. And then we keep McAllister behind to help the defend, help the back line. Diego Jota pressing aggressively. Okay. Well, now I want to pay attention to these 4. Okay. We're going to pay attention to all these 4 players and Gravenberch. Because we want to make sure that they don't they drop into that 4. Yeah, they drop into a nice block. Okay. That was a mistake from one of our players. I think what we're going to do is remove that dribble more from him. Yeah, I think that's going to make it a bit more. Yeah, CF on attack can also work. Yeah, but we're trying different things out. And like I said, at the end of the day, right, Tiki Press, the idea here is not to be, I'm not going to be dogmatic about the roles and duties. I'm not. Just this is how I would say it because this is my interpretation. Like you guys will have your interpretations, which is why at the end of this show, I'm going to share with you guys a link. And I'm going to put the save in that link. You download the save, go and play, finish the season with Liverpool, see how you've done, and then share that save with me, right? Then I will cover it on the stream. We'll do it together. And I will pick the save. I'll pick the save that best replicates the Liverpool tactical system, right? Also do that, man. That's gonna be. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. I absolutely can't wait. I think you guys are going. I suspect you guys are gonna be brilliant. Yeah, the idea. I just wanted to show you things like their build out patterns, how they build, play out. Luis Diaz coming in. Okay, looking for shots. Yeah, makes sense. That role in front is not exact. I'm still not happy with the striker's role. Nice work from Alexander Arnold. Yeah, I'm not happy with the striker's role. Okay, I really don't like this role. DLF. Okay, let me think. I'm leaning towards Poacher as well now. Yeah. I actually am leaning more and more towards my favorite role in the whole game, striker. And I don't think Poacher is going to work. Let's not. Now I'm becoming a bit more ridiculous. Poacher is out. The best role is, it's got to be a move into channels role. So it's complete forward, pressing forward, DLF on support. These are the only 3 we want to pick. Poacher does not move into channels. Poacher holds the hands of the defenders. Makes space for all the other strikers. Virgil clears the ball. Luis Diaz on the counter. This AI generated, so very little you can do about it. Jota goes back to Konate. Okay, Konate now. McAllister, good. There's still build out there. Konate does brilliantly. Darwin Nunes turns. Actually, the Poacher didn't do too badly, did he? Hey, my favorite role is working, but we don't want that. But the good thing about Poacher, right, is you will get the faster transitions. Yeah. Because he plays a simple pass, he's always going to link up the player. Whereas the DLF, he drops deep and sometimes he'll think to himself, okay, can I play a bit of a risky pass? Or should I play this? So, because we want another feature of Arne's slot system, which is the quick attacks. Yeah, the build out looks quite good here. Okay, Gravenberch. And okay, not too bad. Yeah, if you think he plays on the left or the right, yeah, play. Or he plays on the right, yeah, go ahead. Choose the setup that you feel more comfortable with. I'm just playing him on the left. Yeah. You can put him. You can play him on the right as well. That will put him in front of the weaker defender. Yeah. Well, I was looking at Szoboszlai and Jones, right? They tend to be on the right, and sometimes Gravenberch is on the left. Yeah. During their build out, some of their build out plays, I'm actually, when I decided which side Gravenberch should be on, it was based on watching some of the games that he played, right? And then I was watching Szoboszlai on the right and Gravenberch on the left. Yeah. But of course, if you feel differently, go in. Yeah, make it. Yeah, Poacher is gonna work because he is the only role where you will get faster transitions, but not because they're attacking quickly. It's because he involves all the rest of the players really well. Okay, so we gotta take. I think now we go back to DLF on support and see how that, or maybe DLF on attack. We gotta try and find this nice little middle ground here. And still pick that role that moves into the channels. So far, so good. Poacher is a focus role. What do you mean by that? Hey, we've got somebody. Yeah, we got someone from Poland. Hello from Poland. Yeah, I get the agree on the Gravenberch where he can be on the middle or on the left, and I love the fact that all of you are taking part in this. And it definitely, there's plenty of options with this, because you can play the DM and you can play the roaming playmaker in any configuration. That what you pay attention to is this, right? Okay, so what you do is you go into an actual game. That's my pictures. There we go. Yeah. And then you watch, right? Gravenberch. This is version when no, these are not the defenders. We're gonna be damn difficult to find. Yeah, alright. Not that bad. There we go. Okay. This is Gravenberch coming on the left side and Jones on the right side. Right, so here in another game, we got Gravenberch coming on the left side, the other midfielders on the right side. Then another one here, got hard to tell. I can't really tell from here who's Gravenberch, man. I can't really tell who. It could be here, no, could be the right. Very hard to tell from that image. Then in this image, again, a bit hard to tell because in the attacking transition, this is Harvey Elliott. Yeah, this is Luis Diaz. You see Mo Salah going down the flanks. And then here we've got Gravenberch all the way deep. No, now he's on the right side. Here, and Gravenberch was on the left side, in front of Van Dijk. So this is and the thing is, this is the other thing, right? You want, because of the way they do the turn and the pass, right? So he tends to pass to his preferred foot. So what's his preferred foot? His preferred foot is right. So what we do now is move him here, so we see where they can get the faster transitions by moving him here. So now we put Gravenberch on that side of the pitch, right? Because if we play him on the right to the left side, right, then you will see a lot of central passes from Gravenberch. Gakpo, no, I just play as a winger. Yeah, more like an inside forward or a winger. So Brighton conceded a goal. How did they concede the goal? This is poor defending from Virgil van Dijk. McAllister, Gravenberch playing in the right foot goes backwards. I'm going to see whether he can pass the ball when he receives the ball. McAllister to Darwin. Ooh, that would have been a great pass if he had a bit more weight on that ball. So now we pay attention to where Gravenberch is. Okay, so how does he play those passes? Does he play, because we know that the passing is to the preferred foot and he turns and makes the pass straight away. McAllister will play the left. Nice. So we want to try and get it. We want to try and get the movement to be fast. So I got a question from YouTube. In your opinion, did Gakpo play as a white target man in yesterday's match? Yesterday I think Gakpo played as a winger than anything else. They got a corner. Okay, this is the part where I'm a bit concerned, right? It doesn't really look like a 4-2-4 when they defend, right? So the players come back and we're looking for the defensive, but it's too late. Now to build out again. Virgil van Dijk, Gravenberch again. We get this 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, not so bad. Diego Jota looking for underlapping options. He doesn't get many, That's why he's got to go to the flanks. Okay, doesn't get many. Oh, that's going to be different people's point of view, right? It could exactly just do what you feel is right. Is Gravenberch playing deeper? It could be. Yeah, Gravenberch could be the DM and McAllister could be the one making all the moves. So I'm right now playing Gravenberch as a roaming playmaker. Again, this is not the end of it all. We're just trying to see what we can get here. Because I do agree, Gravenberch is a bit deeper in a lot of the transitions. Yeah. We're just trying, and at the end of the day, it's just a matter of putting the different play into that slot. I'm just trying to get the movement first. The perfect play into that slot will be in a bit now. But we will. Okay. Alright, let's swap them. Both in here. McAllister is roaming playmaker and Gravenberch is the DM. Robertson or Luis Diaz. McAllister comes in, finds Alexander Arnold and does not keep the ball. Okay. Oi! We almost conceded a goal there. We almost conceded a goal. Again now, okay, we got the 4-2-4. Yeah. But that's like in our now once again we're playing with a mid block. The idea here is not to create like we super tactic or a tactic that scores all the goals in the world and smashes the teams. No, it's just trying to see if we can get the movement sorted. McAllister free kick. This has got to be the world's worst free kick, right? I mean, the world. I don't understand what the AI is doing here. Yeah. How does it even defend that? Okay. Luis Diaz. We're looking at the two players now. Gravenberch. So now we've looking at Gravenberch and the roaming playmaker. And yes, good point there about Gravenberch sometimes being very deep. Okay. And McAllister moving forward. Completely see that too in some of the matches. So I'm just swapping the two players around and to see whether it impacts the tactic. If you go to SofaScore last night and click on every player, you see the heat map for every player. Can we guess the best roles from that? No, you won't be able to. If I give you a passing map, would you be able to tell me the best roles for a player based on that? I don't think so, man. Yeah. He did. We're gonna leave. What I wanted to do at the start was to create the movement. Right? Doesn't matter if I got the right player in the right role. I just want to choose the roles first. Yeah. Then I'll slot the players in because that would be the final piece of the puzzle and any PIs that we need to apply. Because I'm very we have to be comfortable like approaching the game in different ways, right? And I don't believe that there should be this. I have never really cottoned on to being a purist. Gravenberch is very deep. I totally agree with most of you. But what happens if we play him in that RPM position? I kind of like him being an RPM sometimes. Yeah. And I allow my personal likes to impact the thing. Oh no, Ansu Fati shoots. Okay, with the defend now the defending is not so good, right? Okay, now what you do? Now we go into the low block. See what we can do with the low block, right? So hold the positions in transition, in possession. Okay. Yeah, low block. Okay. So now we're gonna do is a low block. Total, we're playing a total and complete absolute low block and mixed passing against Brighton. Now we've got these two tired. We're gonna bring Cody Gakpo on for Diaz, Harvey Elliott on for Diego Jota, Simicas on for Robertson, and Dominic Szoboszlai on for Jones. I'm sorry that my canister is a ball-winning midfielder. Probably, I think, yeah. Again, it's entirely up to people. I want to do the problem with playing him as a ball-winning midfielder is going to be this. Are you playing the other midfielder as a DM? If you play him as a ball-winning midfielder, you won't get the 4 in midfield in the final third. Yeah, that's it. So one of the roles has to be impacted by positional play. So if you want the 4 in attack, right? The second midfielder has to be a positional play midfielder. So there are only 2 that you can pick: Segundo Volante or roaming playmaker. Because that's it. That's the only roles that will do that job. So again, right, a bit too much of a press. Okay. I gone into just hold your positions. Don't even trigger the press. Just try and see whether the other team can pass around you. 4-2-4. This is what we wanted to see. It's not perfect. Yeah, it's 4-2-4. But remember, I didn't want too many players between these 2 lines. But we got the whole world inside this line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're all in that line. So these 2 have to drop a bit deeper. There we go. We got the players in that line. Something we don't want to see. Okay. We can't see that. We gotta change that. All right. So we're gonna come inside here. I want to close the gap up. Step up more. Okay. You're trying to influence the 2 DMs. No, step up. Step up more. You might have a bigger gap. If I do this, there'll be almost no gap. I'm trying to push that back line higher up the pitch. And also, the other thing we can do is change the roles. DM and Segundo Volante. Okay, so they are defending now. The lead. Segundo Volante and support. Like last night when Liverpool had settled into that low block, right? It was almost no movement in the tactic, the back line. I was like looking at it and going, there were no gaps. So they were very, very deep. The last 2 were very deep. And the only outlet they had were the wide players and the 3 strikers. And that's it. And Liverpool were being very defensive. So we got into a low block now. Okay, but we're still attacking mentality. You can, if you want, go to positive. So we scored the goal. And now we want to play a low block, right? So let's review what the low block is like. Okay, so our low block now is simple. You got low block, much have higher defense because I want the back line to be closer to the DVMs, and I also want them to step up more, which sounds like kind of crazy. But every time they come in. We just want to try and see whether we can catch anybody. Anybody who's trying to get behind us, we'll catch them with an offside trap. If you're worried about this, you can drop this off. Okay, we just want to compact the space in midfield. That's the reason why I'm playing step up more. If you look at the description, right? He said what you're trying to do is you're trying to reduce the space, right, in midfield. Central midfield. But if you're not comfortable, leave it. And what you will typically see is a bit more ability of the AI to play the pass into the central area of the pitch. And what Liverpool were doing yesterday night, they play a low block. And they were inviting every cross in the world. So yeah, so this is what we're trying to do now. We're just letting them cross the ball. And they go into the positions. Yeah, if you see, this is what the feeling that I was getting watching the game yesterday. Yeah, I was like very nervous. I was like, oh my god, when are they going to stop doing this? Okay, so now we can play this guy as towards the end, right? So it's these two attack duties. I'm actually kind of happy with DLF on attack now. I kind of like it a bit more than DLF on support. The baiting of the press is not from actually, yeah, that's an interesting point. The baiting of the press does not come from the two DMs. Yeah, they just come deep to get the ball. The baiting of the press is done by the two defenders. Yeah. So they pass the ball to the two defenders, and then so the goalkeeper's transition instructions are going to be in transition will be to distribute the center backs, but it just includes fullbacks and center backs. Yeah. And sometimes this is something that I was I would like to point out, right? So people notice that the goalkeeper sometimes does initiate the attack, so it's going to be important to play him as sweeper, keep on support. Yeah, you can play him as a DLP and one DLP and another volante, definitely, as long as one of the roles is a DM and the other one is a positional player role. In Football Manager, you can play a lot of roles in that combination. You'll notice there's hardly any change in my tactic once I do that, right? So I play this guy as a DLP. Now I play this guy as a volante. Hold position for Gravenberch, and then the McAllister is moving them. You will notice no difference. They'll be the same positions they're taking up. Yeah. It's just that the DLP is more likely to play. He might play some of the more dangerous passes, but yeah, you can definitely do that as well. There's no like Football Manager isn't a game where you have to play certain roles just to get the oh yeah, it must be this role, it must be that role. I don't fall for that. Yeah. Just to play the game, you pay all that money for the game, right? You pay all that money for the game, right? So play the game the way you want to play it. I'm here just to show you options. That's all. Or at least this is how I would apply it. And once again, guys, there will be a link. Okay, later. All you got to do is upload your link, and I want to see how your tactic comes along. Okay, so that's 2 games on the trot, right? Okay. But I probably wouldn't holiday mode this tactic. Yeah, you'd have to play. So we got, what did we do? We did, I can't remember. I can't remember. I got DM on support, we got RPM. Okay, yeah, let's do DLP. Okay, DLP. And then we play the other one, Segundo Volante on support. Okay, right? Okay, something like this. And then we'll play this guy as a DLF on attack. Next game. Next game. No problem. Definitely one. Yeah, I'm ready to put a big win, of course. All Liverpool. We're all excited. But again, I'm pretty certain. Right, that the person that's leaving the club is Mo Salah. I don't see Mo Salah staying. Now we play Bournemouth our next game. We have some pretty interesting games. Alright. So here we go. Next game. Mo Salah is not available. This time, yeah, we'll keep the same players. We'll play Cody Gakpo here now. And then we'll play Szoboszlai in here. Okay, let's go. What if you get Wataru Endo? What are you gonna play? That's one of the reasons why we use DM and Volante or DM and roaming playmaker. Yeah, because Wataru Endo will end up being a DM, right? He doesn't play any of those passes. It's not in his toolkit. So if you're gonna play players, the easiest combination will be DM and Volante. Second one will be DM, roaming playmaker. You do DLP, Volante, then you have to just change when Wataru Endo is playing in that position because he's not a Volante. They got Harvey Elliott back. So as far as I'm concerned, Harvey Elliott is back. Mo Salah can go. Yeah, really. I'm like happy for Harvey Elliott, man. I think he's got a lot of potential and he needs to be playing a lot of regular games. Okay, so we come in here and then now we are playing this. We're playing with a mid. Ball into box. We'll start with that. We'll keep the ball in transition. Again, no changes or tactic. We're still playing a mid block. And let's look at the recycling of play. Out to Robertson, that's good enough. Okay, I mean, that's enough. Again, Konate read that brilliantly, but this was McAllister moving into the wrong spot. Jota back to McAllister to Gravenberch, out to Soboslai, no, loses the ball. I thought of him as a pretty good, but not really a Salah. Yeah, you can't replace Salah. You gotta start looking at other players. I don't think there's ever going to be a Salah replacement. Because Salah is about to break Wayne Rooney's record. The most goals and assists, right, by a player for a single club. It's on the verge of a pretty big target. If he gets there, he's going to be... I think he's almost on the way out. He's done everything he can. He's achieved everything he can possibly achieve with Liverpool, right? Except Ballon d'Or, which he's never gonna get. He's accepted that as a possible future, a possible thing. So yeah. So why he'll probably go off and then earn lots of money after that. Liverpool at home, looking comfortable. No, there's no, I don't want a high intensity, we're trying to break that team down kind of thing. Because Liverpool can be quite boring to watch. Very methodical in their build-out patterns. Gravenberch now brings the ball. Nice pass to Diego Jota. With the outside of his foot to Gakpo. Good build-up. Okay, we're beginning to see something here that closely mimics what they're doing. Gravenberch is not the deepest player. Okay, so we have dropped the... It just gives you other options as well. Like the one that you can play two fullbacks, then the DM becomes the defending player, right? Because if you play with underlaps fullbacks on attack, then that roaming playmaker will become another attacking player in the final third. So which is very, very good. So you can definitely turn on this switch with this tactic. Let's try that, okay? Let's try and turn on the switch. Okay, we're going to turn on the switch right now. We want to get a goal, right? So this is something that you can do. Fullback on attack, fullback on attack. We're going to attacking. We're going to go low cross now. Okay? We're going to pass into space. We want to get the goal, right? But we're still playing a mid block, but maybe not. We'll just go up the pitch. Increases to prevent the short goalkeeper distribution. So, because Liverpool have a habit of flipping the switch and then shutting off the tap, yeah. So they take risks sometimes, and sometimes you see them, okay, what are they doing? All they're doing is defending, which is what they did against City, which is so brilliant to watch. It's the one thing I wish Liverpool would have been doing under Jurgen Klopp, but they weren't. It's one of the reasons why Liverpool did not beat Real Madrid in the Champions League semi-final. McAllister gets in there, Alexander-Arnold. The switch, we've turned it on, but the highlights are still going, right? So now we've got a switch on. So we're going to pay attention to the play in the next couple of minutes. Okay. look out for any indication that this is not a smart idea. Do you think Liverpool should be buying players in the next window? Yeah, I definitely think they should. Because for Arne slot, the two most important positions in his tactic right now are the two holding midfielders, and I'm pretty certain they're going to go out there and get one more holding midfielder. It's central to the way Liverpool are playing. Szoboszlai out to Robertson. I say the Szoboszlai shoots. I think we got too many players in the penalty area. Okay. I keep forgetting that our set pieces, corners, we gotta bring one guy back. Yeah. We'll take this guy, attack far post. This is B2, right? So we'll take him out. And put him straight back. Okay. Too many, way too many. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's not too bad because the goalkeepers aren't playing out the ball from the back, right? So the Liverpool players will stick into those positions. So Szoboszlai, Coggy Gakpo, Gravenberch, McAllister shoots. This keeper is making some interesting saves today. Here we got the 4 here, we got the 4 here, we got the 2 here. Okay, that's good enough for us. That's good enough for me, I'm happy. I really am happy, 4-2-4. Okay. I was like just looking for the 4-2-3-1, shifts into a 4-2-4. We got players out wide. We got the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we got Darwin Núñez holding. Okay, we have an extra player there. Why are we having this situation now? Because I play fullbacks on attack. So we're all looking to score the goal. So we've turned on the switch and we're looking to trigger that. Another ball into the area. Again, it's a cross. That's because we have to release the Volante soon. If I don't get another goal, if we don't get a goal, we're gonna go Volante on attack. Then once we score a goal, we'll go into our little, we're defending now. Gravenberch out to Coggy Gakpo, Szoboszlai. Hey, that's a terrible pass, man. No, I don't like to see crosses. Yeah, I hate crosses. If I get a tactic that generates a lot of crosses, my tactic will tweak. I'll be tweaking it. Gravenberch, that's because our Segundo Volante is on attack. See the midfield stagger. Remember I was talking about the midfield stagger earlier, right? It broke apart, right? We come inside here, getting ready to change my tactic. Saw the midfield stagger fail. We couldn't get our ball out from defense, so we're gonna go back to positive. Yeah. If they score, I'll be livid. Okay. All right, we didn't manage to do it, right? So we're just gonna go fullback and support, and then drop you back to Volante. Now we're gonna change you to roaming playmaker on support, get you up the pitch. I look to break that team down a bit more. DLP and what? I got DLP or DM and roaming playmaker. Okay, stars. How many of you think Liverpool are not gonna buy players? How many of you think that's gonna be the case? I can tell you right now, Liverpool is gonna bring it up. I'm dead confident they are going to do it. If you don't, right, it's like quite crazy, man. They don't do that. I suppose like if we got one ball into box here. This is not really what they do. What I'm seeing is an orthodox 4-2-3-1. This is not what they do. I feel like there's a bit more shorter passing in their game. There's a lot of running going on. We see the shorter passing in the final third. Do you think all three, Salah, T, and Van Dijk, all going to leave on the free? No, I think only Salah is leaving. Van Dijk is going to sign a contract. They just haven't announced it yet. Yeah. And TA is also signing. He's going to stay. It's going to be pretty hard to get a Gravenberg substitute. Yeah. But they need technically gifted players. Yeah, I don't think Pep should be written off. And then people think Liverpool are already title winners. I think that's crazy. Because Liverpool have yet. Okay, Liverpool's start to the season was the sixth easiest among all the sides in the Premier League. 1. 2. Liverpool did not suffer an injury crisis to their key players like some of the other teams did. So, this is the reason why I think that if anybody were to write Liverpool and say Liverpool are going to win, I think it'd be a bit too optimistic. If Liverpool were to lose Gravenberch to an injury, that's it. Our season is over. That's how dangerous it is. We're like a restaurant with only one cook. So I think it's going to be a challenge for Liverpool still. Which is one of the reasons why I think if you looked at the interview, right, Virgil van Dijk was having an interview with the press, right? He was quite pissed off. And somebody suggested that Liverpool are shoo-ins to win the title. All right, we're going to bring Joe Gomez on. I think Alexander-Arnold is not impressing me at all. Okay. I think I kind of prefer this combination. DM, RPM, he pushes up, he gives us a bit more because this guy is underlapping, so he really needs more players to come into the area. I'm not going to do hit early cross. No point. We could, but then there'll be an early transition. Yeah. So we can leave this alone. That way we don't... I do seem to think that Liverpool do a lot of shorter passing in and around the area. So to get that impact, you need to play with ball to box. It's only 1/3 of the season. Halfway stage already, you know. Some people almost at the halfway stage. I'm like, dude, seriously, it's only 1/3 of the season. Yeah. A long way to go. I remember there was a season once before where Liverpool were, I think, and then Arsenal pipped us on the last day. On the last day of the season, we lost the title. And even then, people were going, Liverpool going to win, Liverpool are going to win. And I'm like, dude, seriously, and Arsenal were chipping away at the lead. And then we fumbled. It's happened before. That was not the first time. Once a couple of seasons ago, we had a very strong early lead, and people were going Liverpool for the title, Liverpool for the title. Everybody wrote off City, and then City came back and won the title. Yeah, remember the season Steven Gerrard made Steven Gerrard had a slip as well. So yeah, I think it's a bit too soon. Okay, we dropped in. We haven't gone into a low block. Yeah. Okay, what we'll do now is remove this, go into a mid block. Okay. Drop this to here because we want to play the mid block now. So with the mid block, we're going to move our passing to slightly mix it up. And then we're going to do this. Okay. We don't want the players to... our mentality is positive. What does that mean? Even when it comes to the trigger press, the players will be considered about that trigger as well. So they won't just go in willy-nilly. You want to be even safer, drop it to cautious or defensive. Then you see a very Liverpool, a very typical Liverpool style of play. Andy Robertson. There's too many crosses in the game. That's down to the fact that we're playing this formation, I think. We could drop these and play them as inside forwards. Yeah, both as inside forwards. Could be a roll thing as well. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think Liverpool 8 points ahead is absolutely nada. Gomez, fullback, getting up the pitch. Inside forwards coming in, okay. I still think I'm a bit wary about playing inside forwards because I like the width that wingers give. Konate. We got our mid block is very unadventurous. Typical Liverpool. Look at the passing. Very safe. We get into the third. It's a simple. They tried to get into the third. Jota shoots. There's no adventure in this. Inside forward. I'm still thinking wingers are the best. Yeah, but we'll see. Oh yeah, we gotta play wingers. Okay, all right. We gotta play a wing. One wing. We gotta have a winger on one side. Okay, winger on this side. Give us the width. Go back to winger. The winger inside forward is much better. Mid block working. Darwin Núñez can't get to the ball. Spencer, you're a pessimist, just like me. As a Liverpool fan, I've had one too many seasons where we thought things were looking good and they weren't. How do you describe Joe Gomez? I think utilitarian now. I think he's a good, decent player. I think he should get a chance to play. I mean, everybody seems to forget when Virgil van Dijk first came to the club, he formed a partnership with Joe Gomez. And that partnership was actually a very good partnership until Joe Gomez got injured. Everybody was talking about the Joe Gomez-Van Dijk partnership. And they're all talking about how well they were playing together. Everybody has forgotten it because now the only one talking about Konate and Virgil van Dijk. Players make mistakes, right? If they don't play a lot. They don't play as a partnership. So I give him some time. I've got faith in him. He's still a good defender. Okay, we've gone into a 1-0 mid block right now. What we're going to do is we're going to go all the way down to be cautious. And we're going to go into a low block. And pass into space. Boom, boom, boom. And now we're going to go. We're just playing this like how I've seen Liverpool play, where absolutely nothing is happening in terms of their tactic. Here, maybe we'll play inverted fullback defense. So it's actually slightly higher. Get to support the underlap. So now we've gone defensive in the last couple of minutes. We've got 1-0 lead. There's no reason for us to take too many risks. So this is our how the passing is going to look. Yeah. And it just goes that, and then we'll look at where there it goes. He's going to stay in that position. And simple. They allow them to come all the way into the third, so it's fine. Okay, Becker. Now we're trying to draw the press. Nothing is happening. Okay, it's fine. They're not pressing us. They might be a goal down, but they aren't pressing, so it's okay. We know that we will win this game. So once again, this is the low block, right? So you can definitely play the Liverpool style of play, but it requires a few tweaks on your end to get to feel that you are playing like Liverpool or you're managing like Arne slot. I don't think you can go in there and go like, okay, this is the one tactic, I'm going to drop it in and I've got Arne slot. I ain't seen that happen in a game of football. Okay, defended really stoutly. Only allowed them 2 shots and none on target. Yeah, it's okay. It's a clinical approach after 3 games. If you go to the data up, I think we got data up coming in. After 3 games, what will it look like? Our 2 goals per game, conceded 0.67, expected goals against per game less than 1, non-penalty expected goals per 92.74. Quality chances are being created by our team. If we go to the data hub, okay, what I'll do is when you go to the data hub, there's only a few things I look at, right? So we go for all that. We'll pick a few. We're gonna get the XG table, the general performance. None of this. I mean, you could actually look at where the defensive actions are happening, but won't tell me much. Short map. Okay, this is where our short map for the last 5 is. That's going to be important. The other thing that we need, we can use pitch still to tell us about how we are allowing, whether we're allowing PPDA kind of passes, whether we're allowing a team a lot of chances of passing around our half, right? Okay. Then we got XG match story. Pass map completion comparison. I don't know if this is gonna help us, but we can just look at the pass map. Okay. All right. So we finished it. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to check is this. This is what I go to all the time. 56, 29. It's almost like 30% or 50% of our chances are coming with to the head. So we want to probably got to try and see whether we can reduce this amount. This is not something I like. Liverpool against Bournemouth, we got a clear 4. We got a 2 and a 4 here as well. Right, so we got our 4-man. We got our two DMs are here. That's not too bad. Then we come to our chances that we're creating, all high XG chances. Quite a number of high XG chances, which is quite good. In terms of XG table, XG against, right? The XG against City, Spurs, Chelsea, and Brentford are allowing fewer chances. Okay, they are allowing fewer chances in their third. In terms of creating goal scoring chances, we are the ones leading the way with the most goal scoring chances. Okay, so we've created the most goal scoring chances, but we are also allowing the team a chance at shooting at our goal. So what we have to do is we have to check other things as well. So we're gonna look at stages. Liverpool have played 3 games, conceded only 2, right? Scored about 6 goals. What I think is a lot of chances are coming from the head. So I want to reduce that. Okay, so first up, we got this version of the tactic, right? Okay, now let's make another one. Okay. All right, we're gonna make another version, slightly different version. Okay, so we're gonna have you as a DM on support, but we are gonna have you as a box to box. We're gonna have you as a central midfielder on attack. We're gonna play you as a winger on attack. We're gonna play you as an inverted winger on support. Whether this tactic is gonna look like Liverpool, I have no clue. And DLF on support. Yeah, we are experimenting. Manager. So this guy's gonna go up. This guy's gonna attack the box. This guy is gonna give us the width. Only problem is, can Gakpo play here? Gakpo can. Can Mo Salah? Jota cannot. Then we got Mo Salah. All right. Now, if Mo Salah can't play there, we have to drop the. Yeah, we can't play this. Okay. There's no way. There's no retraining of position. Although I think this would be actually quite ideal. Okay. So in another one, we're gonna do is the 2 false 8s, right? Okay. So we got one role here. Can we do this? Probably won't work. But the fullbacks will come in here, fullbacks, and this guy's gonna anchor. Right. And this player actually has to drop. So this is definitely not Liverpool. So we're back again to the only version that we can play. The 4-2-3-1. Yeah. So this is how I try and figure out whether we can play with other tactics. Other tactics wouldn't work. So we've only got that one slot, one tactic, right? Low tactic. So we got slot 1. Okay, we try and do another version of this tactic. So we got a Segundo Volante on support. Here we'll play a deep line playmaker on support, right? Okay. Here we'll play a shadow striker. DLF on support, winger on attack, Volante coming in here, fullback coming in here. This one will be a winger or inside forward on support. Winger. So we can get Connor Bradley's underlapping runs. Connor Bradley does a lot of underlapping runs here. Okay, so we got this one, and then we're gonna have one player here as an inside forward. So this allows us to create the Luis Diaz impact where he attacks from this side. Our passing will be mixed. Short again. Sorry. Go ball into balls lower. Mid block, distribute to center backs instead of fullbacks. Okay. So we're gonna distribute to center backs because that's what we see most of the time. And finally, mid block. Right, we're playing a mid block with no prevention or goalkeeper distribution. Once again, we start with this tactic. We're gonna go on balance first. So it's out the gate, we're not going to be too aggressive. Sorry, this one has to be DLF on attack. Okay, so this is slot version 2. So this is the slot second tactic. So we got Volante, we got Gravenberg here, Jota, yeah, the usual suspects. Okay, next tactic. And then tactic set pieces rather. Set pieces, we want to make sure that when we attack, we have one player coming back. Okay, so you come back. Alright, that's it. Enough. Got too many fellas attacking. Yeah, that's Mo is injured last Spurs fan. What to do? Such is life. In my tactic, in my safe, he's already left. How's that for a plan for Mo? Mo is gone! He's gone from Liverpool. Okay, so our second tactic, straightforward, right? So the difference between this and this, DLF on support, we know this now we change it to attack. DLF on attack, shadow striker, DM, roaming playmaker. What this does is it supports here, but the underlap is actually happening here. So the DM on this side, underlap won't work. Underlap doesn't really help us, right? So this is quite weak. Defensively, it leaves a vulnerability in our tactic. So if I look at this version of the tactic, we've got DLP, Volante. Volante comes up, he can hold a position. So whatever you do, one of these roles needs to be a DM, and the other one has to be taking advantage of positional play. When this happens, so Boslai shifts to the left, and this guy was going to come up. The problem with this is Szoboszlai actually pushes to the right. Right, that's the problem in the game. No, Szoboszlai actually pushes to the right, and then Gravenberch actually pushes to the left, or McAllister pushes to the left. So we're gonna play Volante here again, and then DM here. Okay. Yeah, I kind of see Szoboszlai always on the right. So move that in. Yeah, so I have this thing. This is what I see. Naturally, it all depends on everyone. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's you. You decide what you want to do. But so far, the tactic has been working. Naturally, we're not going to be playing the entire season, but I want to know how your season comes along with your versions. Right? So Liverpool receive Rangers Europa League. Oh, that's who we're playing against. That's cool. Wolves away. This will be fun. Transfer window is closing. We got a really good start as the new manager of Liverpool. 3 wins on the trot. Okay. Our strikers have been feeding off too many 50-50, right? Some crosses. Yeah, so that's the downside. So we're gonna play low cross. I'm not doing try to reduce the number of balls over the top. Yeah, I think Szoboszlai has to be on the right side. It cannot be on the left. I mean, if you're using positional play, you have to look out and where Szoboszlai ends up in the attacking transition. Because we are playing Football Manager, we're not playing real life. Okay, we're trying to see how close we can get them to move into the positions we want them to, based on what Football Manager will allow us. Okay, so Football Manager, because of the positional play, this guy Szoboszlai will now end up on the left. Watch, this is McAllister, Darwin. Okay, so watch here. The Szoboszlai is right now here. Okay, but once he comes up, right? So when you have a Volante here, Szoboszlai is going to be pushed out all the way to the right. Right, so the Volante is getting ready to move up the pitch, right? So this is a Volante, McAllister, right? So when if McAllister gets the ball, say McAllister is here. Because McAllister is here, Szoboszlai is now here. Okay, now if I were to change and I put the roaming playmaker, the DM here and the Volante here, the Volante pushes up, then this guy shoves out to the left. So certain things that it's small little things. Because Szoboszlai is always working with Mo Salah. That's something that we have to factor in. The partnerships. You got to look at the partnerships during a game and decide, okay, fine, this is the partnership that they have. Szoboszlai is with Mo Salah, Cody Gakpo is with usually with someone else. Most of the time with Anderson, or rather Robertson, not Anderson, Robertson. So you're playing on balance mentality. We'll get Robertson to get high up the pitch. So what we actually have done is we made this left side a bit more attacking. Once again, like I've said before, Arne Slot's tactics can change. What we're doing now is trying to see whether we can create different kinds of patterns of play during a game. Trying to do now is this left side is going to start attacking that side. Hopefully, yeah. That's the plan. If it happens, yay. If it doesn't, too bad for me. Robertson now with the ball. We can see the push now on the left side. We got some support. McAllister out to Gravenberch. Now Szoboszlai. Oh, we've lost the ball. That was too slow. Way too slow. And we don't have work ball into box. Do we? Yeah, we do. Sheesh. I got work ball into box. Against a 5-man defense, giving 8 players time to get back into the third to help defend. Oh, I don't think so. Especially if we're playing a mid block. Yeah, baby. Let's get the ball in and try and score goals quickly. All right, boys, let's go there. All right. Got the lion's share of possession, but come on, there we go. Robertson wins the ball back. The mid block is working, but someone has gone down. It's Lamina, the gentleman that my boys are. Yeah, Liverpool's right side is the creative side, not the left. The left side is business. Get up the pitch and don't try any funky stuff. All the creativity is coming from the right. All the scoring is coming from the left. Or not say all the scoring, but some of the scoring. So we got Andy Robertson to go up the pitch, right? So what's happened? We got a problem. So what we do is now we're gonna take Andy Robertson and tell him, no, maybe not. I think you have your days of really getting up the pitch are gonna be shunted. We're playing now fullback support. The game is not gonna punish you. He'll be now moving up until here and stopping around here. He won't be overcommitting. We are playing away from home. We want to be defensively solid. Remember that. That's the goal here. We're playing balance and keeping those spaces. But my boy did not play well. Who's out of position? Andy Robertson. Andy. What is wrong with you? Look at Andy. What did he do? He came in too early. What is wrong with you? Already fullback on support. Inverted fullback on defense. He couldn't even do that job right. This Andy Robertson is playing like Andy Robertson in real life. McAllister goes deep. Oh, Virgil van Dijk's header. Wolves 1, Liverpool 0. Liverpool near 1 shot. Alexander Arnold not playing well. I noticed Alexander Arnold has been picking up a lot of yellow cards. Safe. McAllister. So once again, end of this show, I'll make you the link. Provide you with the links. You go out there, use the save, and see how your tactic. Oh, what a save from the keeper. Love Robertson. Yeah, so he gave him a penalty to save. I have to admit that got me very nervous as well. But that was a heck of a save from Keomin Keller. See what he's doing? He's a bit too bitey here. Bitey is the only word I have to describe him. Get trigger press lower. He's always coming out too early. Again. Szoboszlai to Gravenberch. Out to Darwin. Szoboszlai. That was a terrible pass from him. Nice work from McAllister. He gets into the area and takes a shot that is a cane. Even that's like my typical power in my shots when I would play football. Arnold with a great ball, but it wasn't a good ball. McAllister. Once again, we are only playing on balance mentality, but we've lost. We go behind, right? So we should jack it up to attacking. Gakpo as an inside forward. No, okay, I think he's not really doing a good job. So we go wing on attack and stretch the play. The Liverpool players are not. Oh, when I say that, McAllister scores. Liverpool 1, Wolves 1. Defensively, we consider a silly goal. Silly goal. That's the second McAllister free kick goal. So I think you guys better go and sign McAllister. 2 free kicks taken, 2 goals. That's quite a good return on my investment of him as a player. Okay. So we're gonna now bring on Luis Diaz. Fresh legs to attack the pocket. Curtis Jones was supposed like was playing really poorly. Harvey Elliott for Diego Jota. And Joe Gomez for Mr. Alexander-Arnold. 4 tactical changes from the manager as Liverpool seek to get another goal. So how many of you people think that okay, what do y'all think of the striker's role for this tactic? What do you think should be the striker's role? I think it's a DLF on support, pressing forward, or DLF for support and pressing forward. These are the only ones I can think of. Darwin goes back to Virgil, Van Dijk, McAllister looks for options. What a ball to Curtis Jones. DLF on attack. Right. Okay. How many Liverpool fans in the house? Put up your hand. I see a few hands up. Okay, put them down quick. Don't let others know that you're a Liverpool fan, alright? Keep quiet. Don't let others know. Don't let others know. Okay, put your hand down now, Spencer. Okay. I used to have a really hard time growing up. Everybody would give me a hard time being a Liverpool fan. Of course, that was when Liverpool were doing quite well. I would always get a lot of grief. And when Liverpool endured that 10 seasons, 18 seasons without a trophy, things just got from bad to worse. I had to write that. Gravenberch blocking the goalkeeper. I don't get it, no. Gravenberch, but he didn't get the ball. It was Mr. Who with the header, right? Okay, Liverpool, I mean, we got back into this game. There's a draw, not ideal, against Wolves, who are playing this is a thing that is a problem for Liverpool as well, against the super defensive teams. Liverpool have to play at a higher block, right, and get up the pitch, and their defenders have to run up the pitch with the ball. Yeah, that's what I've noticed. And it is the one defensive area of the game that a lot of commentators have said might be Liverpool's issue, because whenever they play against these teams that want to sit back all day long, they end up having to get their defenders to do a lot of running with the ball. McAllister, good ball to Diaz, but almost was Diaz. It was offside. I've been following the sport since 2018. My only friend was a Liverpool fan, so you joined in. I have a friend who was a West Ham fan, right? Okay, this I don't like about him. And then he decided to impress. He desperately wanted to impress another guy. I don't know why. He's not gay. So he went and changed his allegiances of West Ham to Arsenal. I never ever spoke to. I never ever had a football conversation with him after that. Oh yeah, became an Arsenal fan overnight. I'm like, dude, seriously. I remember a couple of years ago, he told me a West Ham fan. Hammer used to go. Now you're a Gunner. Do you know that the West Ham, basically you just move from one end of London to the other end of London? You better not go to London yourself. Don't tell anybody you did that. It's like terrible, no? It's terrible to go from one end to go in there. Pool is my second favorite. Spurs is mine. Heartache and all there. It's not even a rice pool. Okay, Manchester United, we're going to see how this tactic plays out. Once again, no guarantees. The whole idea here was to deconstruct the tactic and come up with an interpretation of my own. You guys will probably have your own interpretations. I'll be very, very excited to see how you guys approach that. Very important for there to be different points of view, right? Okay, no one person should have a monopoly on a point of view. Okay, Jota goes up. Szoboszlai, McAllister. Okay, we're gonna stick to this. We're playing a mid block with low crosses. Oh, not this game now. Then we'll remove we'll have work ball into box because we don't want to see a lot of crossing. And then we'll just bring this up slightly more. Okay. Volante should. I'm toying with the idea of turning this into a playmaker, but that's not how we can actually. Taking playmaker on attack. Actually, the 2/8s, right, are playmakers. They can all be playmakers. 1, 2, 3, 4. All of them, right? Because whoever is the player that's out wide, usually they work together to create goal scoring chances for the others. It's 2 free hits. Harvey Elliott comes into the space to create chances. So Szoboszlai is doing the same thing. Yeah, they're not like going out there to score goals. I mean, more often than not, I see Szoboszlai taking shots from outside the area, not inside the area. If we play him as a shadow striker, we're going to see a few goals from him inside the area. It's something I don't want to do. Maybe we'll drop him down to AP on S then. Okay, now we got him an AP on S. Yeah, this could be interesting. I want to try different things out. Once again, a slot strikerless. No, we don't want to do a strikerless tactic. Although one would argue they could even be strikerless. But no, well, your parents will never maybe support them. Me, very simple. Childhood, grew up Liverpool. My family all got Liverpool friends as well. So whatever, what to do, you grow up around people who are supporting Liverpool and kindergarten or whatever. It's like my kids now. What choice do they have? The moment they were born, I put them into a Liverpool jersey. They got branded Liverpool fans the moment they showed up. The moment my children had the audacity to get born, okay, I put them in a Liverpool jersey. Okay, in my family, you got no choice. Okay, the Liverpool jersey came out of a Liverpool towel with Liverpool beanie with Liverpool socks in a Liverpool towel. He was branded Liverpool all the way from the moment he was born. My wife was looking at me going, dude, seriously, don't you, what's it? What if it's a girl? I say, why? Women play football too. His first rattle was a Liverpool rattle. Rattle again, rattle, so the toys they gave put in the bed, right? Liverpool pillow. He had a whole Liverpool kit, man. Everybody was laughing at me. I said, no. Tradition of my family is never going to change. Okay? So if I have to endure it, so is my son. Okay, that's it. What peer pressure? Family expectations is worse than peer pressure. It's not a case of you go, you need to marry this girl or this is going to be your religion. No. You come into this world, you come in as a Liverpool fan. You do not come in with a choice. It's worse than religion. At least religion you can change. The moment if you ever change your allegiance as a football fan, that's it. I disown you. I literally told that to my son. I found out, I told him when I was about 16, if you ever become a United fan, Arsenal fan, you don't ever call me. I'm not picking the phone up. I told my son that I'll disown you on the spot. You can marry an Evertonian. You can marry whoever you want to marry. A full kid wankers, correct? You can marry whoever you want to marry. I'd rather you marry him. Okay, listen, marriage is never plain sailing. So I recommend a Liverpool fan should always marry a Manchester United wife. At least if you fight for something that, you get your fighting done on Saturday when you're watching a football game. You throw it, whatever fit you have, you do it there. And after that, you shake hands, you make up. Yeah, okay, the guy. Only problem you're going to have is when kids are born. That's it. If it's a son, daughter, I don't know, man. I've got friends who got some weird, family situations. Okay, this is not much nicer. So Boslai is not really charging into the box now. We got Jota here. This looks a lot better. I want this role not to be too far forward. Yeah. So we get him now into this area. Gravenberch comes in. Nice. We get a lot better. Now we get a lot of these short passes that we can see that is a typical hallmark of the Liverpool style. Now, they're playing Manchester United away from home, looking comfortable. Robertson, yes. McAllister, this is nice, except Anthony decided. Okay, how many of you have kids? Okay, in chat, and what do you expect them, or are they old enough to decide which football club they are members of? Okay, Mo Salah look nice. It is good. McAllister, simple pass. Gauri Gakpo gets in. What a goal against Manchester United. Ladies and gentlemen, now this could be the final version of our Manchester United Liverpool tactic. Get it right. So, okay. So he wanted Mo Salah to come inside. He's come inside. We've got the 1, 2, 3, 4 in attack. We've got the 4. We've got Mr. Gravenberch sitting deep. We've got McAllister here. We've got the step ladder, baby. What I was talking about at the start of the show, we want to create a step ladder effect. We got our step ladder. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, all the way to goal. Okay, so Mo Salah plays it on McAllister. He's free. Jota gets it. Beautiful. We got a step ladder. This is something that is a hallmark of Liverpool style of play, which is a lot of passes that are short and quick in succession. We couldn't get it in the first couple of matches, but I think we might have nailed it with the change in removing our boy, the AM, because we were playing as a shadow striker. I didn't really like it. No, there was an inner voice going, you gone mad? Yeah. So yeah, okay. My 5-year-old Shaman is beginning his footy journey. His dad is hoping to get a Spurs jersey, so he has recently taken a liking for a Barcelona one. Someone else has given him, oh my goodness, Barcelona jersey. Okay, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Okay. Shobo's like, oh yeah, my first wife remarried, right? She remarried someone. The moment I found out he was a Manchester United fan, you should have seen my face, man. I was almost about to go to war, go to the house, burn it down, kind of shenanigans. So instead of doing that, I called my sons up. If he makes you watch United game, you sit down with him and watch United game, you better know who you're cheering for. You can't put the phone down again. I tell you, when it comes to football and my passion, there's no two ways about it. Okay? I am dead on serious about it. Okay? Mo Salah again, look, beautiful football. We're looking at, this is what I wanted to see. A lot of nice short passing. We are playing on balanced mentality too, right? So we're not taking too many risks. We are not overcommitting our attacking patterns. It's good. We're closing down the lanes. The fullbacks are in good positions. The players are all coming back to defend. We do the transition. We win the ball in the mid block. And Mo Salah, yeah, he plays as a winger, but he's got a lot more freedom playing a back heel to Szoboszlai. Nice. Except now we have a slight concern over Szoboszlai and Mo Salah. So what we do is second half, bring on Curtis Jones and bring on Harvey Elliott. And then we see the right thing to do. Hey, Kimpi, morning, how are you, man? So we just, okay, B-rate, B-rate. United coming at us. So we go to low block, like I said before, it's entirely up to you. If you got the world-class players like Man City, you might want to think about it. But once again, if you wanted to go into a low block, it's not that difficult. All you got to do is drop this, right? And drop this. You got yourself a low block. Preferably what you also want to do is increase the passing, drop the world ball into box. And if you wanted to be really defensive about it, deep line playmaker on support and a volante. Or maybe you can go DM on support and DLP on support. So here's a DM. So this guy is really a DLP. Okay, that's it. We decided now not to take any chances. We got into a very... we're playing a low block against Manchester United. Can we see? Okay, we just want to see. Okay, now we've got into a low block. Oh, dear Lord. Marcus Rashford is good. So, guess our low block is not going to be around for long. We have to change. We've got to come out. Still play balance. United has done it, man. They offered throw in. They've scored the equalizer just as I was about to switch into a low block. Cheeky bums. Okay, never mind. It's okay, we'll come back. McAllister now. Out to Mr. Konate. I like the build-up play. It's okay. Yeah, keeping the ball except for Harvey Elliott. Kevin lost the ball. Harvey, come on, don't make me look bad. Oh, okay, we changed our roles back. Is it a roaming playmaker and DM? Yeah, push him up. We need to get the goal back. Amiru, welcome back, man. Hey, how's your competition? Your football manager competition doing? It's our own, one of our own, man. One of our own taking part in a national football manager competition here in Asia. Amirul, the last I heard, you went to the final 16. Who will City sign to replace Rodri? Oh, who will City sign to replace Rodri? That's a good question. I don't know. Is there anyone out there with Balloon Dior credentials? I don't think so. You lost in the round of 16. Oh, hard luck. Hard luck. I don't think there's who's good enough for that position. Valverde. All right. Valverde, no. They need a ball-winning player. Gravenberch, Jones, Jota can't. We need a... Jota is being muscled off the ball by, I don't believe it, Varane. I thought he was not playing there anymore. I thought Varane was not playing here anymore, man. Zuba-Mendy. Maybe, huh? Maybe he could be waiting for maybe he could have been waiting for... Said no to Liverpool so he could say yes to Manchester City. Possible. All right. Statistically, we've given them more of the ball. I think we're going to take him off. I'm going to Darwin Nunes now. And Luis Diaz for some pace for Gakpo. We got no choice. We'll play McAllister all the way. Edson Alvarez is not. Edson Alvarez is a very good player. Very good player. I don't think does he? Yeah, he's Ajax trained as well. So he knows his technical ability. There's no denying that he's got some technical ability too. Started his career at Ajax. Ended up, I think a lot of clubs are looking at him at one point in his career. It's not perfect. Yeah, we got a great start and then, oh wow, Rashford even defended okay. They were after Rocco Reeds from Mönchengladbach. That would be classic FM. Sign a new contract and the first option 6 months later transfer somewhere else. Man, I don't think Zuba-Mendy is going. He's going to stay there. He's going to stay. They love that cross, right? Yeah, the opposition with the perfect cross. Don't remind me. Hurting my feelings. Okay, Wataru Endo comes on. That's it, man. The last change I can make. Robertson has to stay here. This left side is a bit of a concern for me. Alexander Arnold. Oh, you there. Alexander Arnold. We gotta do something about him. I want Conor Bradley back because Alexander Arnold makes a lot of mistakes in my save. Like, I've been watching my pixel has been watching real life Alexander Arnold and mimicking his style of football. Last time Alexander Arnold was making so many mistakes. One could argue that he was out of touch, right? But I don't think that was it. No? I think there's more to his game. I think I think he might be distracted with all that contract talk and him. Maybe he's been spending one too many nights playing PlayStation online with Jude Bellingham. Andy Robertson, Luis Diaz with a shot. Should you get Reeds for me? I said, go get Reeds. Okay, Virgil van Dijk's mopping that up against Manchester United. We're gonna have to. We don't berate. We don't berate. We're not gonna use any of the shots. We're just using the team instructions. That's all, guys. Luis Diaz now to Gravenberch to Endo. Out to Elliot. Okay, I think we're looking quite good. Elliot playing his shot. We're playing on balance. That's it. We wanted to go into a low block, but we didn't. We're still playing the mid block. Inviting cross in transition with the counter press, and then we're doing this mixed passing, shorter tempo, everything that we think that Liverpool are doing. Good work again. The Elliot with the ball lost out to Mason Mount, Amrabat. I don't see these players actually play for United. Martinez, run. This is not real. This game. This game is so not real, man. Come on, man. This lineup, you'll never see United with this lineup. No. You're like, seriously. Only in Football Manager does United play like this. Anthony Martial. This is a fantasy football team. This is not real United. So I'm not disappointed. Fantasy football team. This is like many years ago United. No. This is not the real United. No. Okay, we lost the yeah, we conceded a goal, that's okay. Yeah, players all losing the ball. A free kick, Elliot goes far post, Endo. Not good enough. I wanted to try a mid block a bit more defensively, but the boys did not play to form. Yeah, we didn't play to form. ETS should have played FM, Football Manager. Yeah, if we had played Football Manager, he would have gotten it right. It would have been, apparently Eric Ten Hag, when he was managing Manchester United, apparently if you follow the press right, nobody knew what tactics he was using. That was a fundamental problem with them. So we lost the game against United. This is disappointing. We really played quite well until the point where we lost. But one of the reasons why I think we lost as well is players. This Liverpool team doesn't have enough depth. I would think that, if you wanted to do it, I think we need a bit more depth in this Liverpool team. Like, at least playing against the AI. Because you can see, right, the AI, they're not realistic, right? The fellas that they chose. Yeah, it's all right. Let's stick to this. I mean, now AP, they have the bite that we had just now, but he had the movement that we wanted. So we go back, Shadow Striker again. Was it AP attack, right? I think AP support, but then this will be too defensive. Shadow Striker again. The Shadow Striker combination did get us a lot of goals. We'll have to see. Okay, Maccabi Haifa. If he played FM, his players would actually be competent. No, if he played FM, we'd have signed a whole new bunch of players anyway. Yeah. We'd have to. He would be trying to prove they was right all along. Okay, guys. No, if I lose, right? Oh, you're gonna have one defeat on your hands, no? Oh, then Club Vision. Oh, you all got a challenge, man. I better not lose any more games because we're gonna have. I'm gonna have to stop the save soon because I'm experimenting a bit too much now. So I'm gonna save this game here. We just got the. Is it possible for me to save just before? I don't do versions like that. Slot committee save 3rd of July. I think this is what I'll give you guys. 3rd of July. Okay, that's what I'll give you guys. So what you guys get is a different save, but it starts at the start. I don't know yet, man, Wukong. Yeah, we do this first. Do a few more. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this game. This game, I'm going to put it onto the into the Dropbox folder so you guys can get a chance to use that. save. I done it for you. So we're all gonna have the same save. Except you got Chippermonger. Your manager's name is Chippermonger Profetto. Okay? I mean, you can fire me if you want. Chippermonger Profetto. But it will be like, the same manager. Okay, so let's go to the next game. Are we there already? Yeah, we there. Okay, cancel. Tactics. We got Mo Salah, Curtis Jones to play. Szoboszlai didn't play well. Joe Gomez. The other... I'm sorry, Trent Alexander-Arnold is not convincing me. Gakpo, no. We play Luis Diaz. Then we play Darwin Núñez up top. And then we'll give Gravenberch a break. Play Wataru Endo. Okay. But can we talk about Wrexham in the future? Will they keep getting promoted? I mean, what's there to stop them from getting promoted? They got nothing to stop them, right? I think they will definitely. I think Wrexham will have lots of. I think they will get there. Wrexham will definitely. Okay, we go back and then we can carry on. How big those owners are? Yeah, of course. I don't know. I think that they will still do quite well, right? The two owners will get their team there, but they're looking for more investors, right? They are, no? They're looking for more investors for the club. Why, of all days today, is it taking so long? All right, so we're gonna upload this save here. File. Sports Interactive, Football Manager, Slot Community Save. Done. All right, I'll give you the link. Come on, this. Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. So this is the link to the save, and if you wanna do the save, and then once the save is done, come back on the stream next week. Come back on the stream next week, and share the save. You guys on Discord will be much easier. But I will, I'll be streaming tomorrow. Yeah, it only take you one season to do your little run, right? Then after the one season is up, I'll put the link on chat tomorrow. You guys will be able to share your little exploits. And don't worry, the link I provide for you to upload your save is gonna be fast. Like just what you saw just now, when I was uploading this, I was uploading the file. You saw how fast that took, right? So it's gonna be just as fast for you guys. Okay, so we're still playing a mid block. We're not changing our style. We're just gonna keep doing this. Mo Salah is all miles offside. China, man. That guy needed a visa. He did not get one. He entered the country without a visa. Useless bum. It's like so far offside. Oh, the guy's taking the free kick. Is already offside. You would think he move onside. You should know better by now. Salah He still wants to shoot. Okay, all right, we are definitely getting the Mo Salah here. He's gonna break Wayne Rooney's record. He's out to break his record. It's gonna be so. Hey, Matty Zucks, how are you, man? Yep, here we are. I think I've created one version of the Liverpool system. Okay, I want to see your versions of the Liverpool system. What we did at the start of the show. Basically, we talked about the many ways they can. I mean, we talked about their transitions, right? So we're not gonna push this guy up. I spoke about their transitions, what they look like in the mid block, what they look like when they're defending, what they even look like when Salah has the ball. So we linked all that, right? The build-out patterns, from the goalkeeper, the defenders, what they look like in central midfield, and what they look like when they're attacking, how narrow they get set up, their midfield stagger, all of that has been covered. So the challenge for you guys right now, is to come up with your own style. Now, there's no hard and fast rule that says it's got to be a certain way, right? There's none. I'm playing a shadow striker because I want to have a bit more of a bounce in front. Now, if you want I want all of them to be driven into the box. Of course, we can also play it like this: an attacking playmaker on attack, or even an attacking playmaker on support. Then we get better build out, then you might even see a bit more of the shorter passes that are typical of Liverpool, like the 4-6 yard pass. Because Arne's law is a rule about passing. He doesn't like to see too many long passes. Yeah, he doesn't. He gets very annoyed. He wants them to keep possession and use their passing to break down plays with all that congestion going up in midfield. It creates space for their wingers to attack the flanks. So the congestion frees up the space on the flanks, right? So the goal has to be, I rather replicate the principle. So I create that congestion in the middle to create the space out wide, and we see Mo Salah receiving the ball, and that's what I wanted to do. It's in line with in the same spirit that Arne Slot is playing his system. So this is my interpretation. Naturally, you guys are gonna have your own. I'm very eager to see. And tomorrow's stream, which is Bring Your Tactics, I'll put up the link again. Yeah, just go out there, create your own, man. Yeah, and then tomorrow, I think a lot of the guys on Discord, you guys will have, you know how to reach me as well. He actually plays Tiki Press. I know, that's why you call yourself Tiki Press, right? Yeah, it's a bit like Tiki Taka counter pressing style, right? But the problem with Tiki Taka is his high block. His is a mid block. And sometimes, yes, they go into a high block, and sometimes they go into a low block. And that's the thing about Liverpool right now. So your ability to recognize it and go like, okay, fine, maybe I want to play a low block. That's going to be important. He changes tactics and mentalities in matches. Sometimes they're more aggressive. Sometimes they're very conservative. They kill off their matches. And also, the other reason why he's playing on such a low tempo sometimes in some of these games is because he's only got those two midfielders. The center mids, you don't exactly have them in ample supply at Liverpool. So if they get injured, Liverpool's season is over, which kind of explains why his tactics are like that as well. So we're doing the same way. So a nice simple pass, okay. If you want to slow down the action, right? Getting out to the byline, can go low cross as well. Yeah, they pushed them into a low block. Correct. He had no choice. So his team can play the low block. Not like they want to sit back and defend, but you can also recognize the fact that Liverpool were sinking into a low block. You know why? Look at Mo Salah at that point in time. Look at the front line. The front line didn't even press. They didn't even come close to pressing them. They just tracked them all the way into their box. That's it. They were just holding positions. So that's when I realized this is one deep. They were playing one deep block, because I was yelling at the monitor the TV at one point, because Mo Salah wasn't pressing anyone. The moment they entered the mid block, like Mo was just standing there. So I was like, what the hell's going on? I was like, then I recognized how deep they were going. I was like, oh no, they're trying to draw them up the pitch so that they get the space on the flanks. And that was after that they got the second goal. So I was not for me, man. After a while, that was when they got penalty. Curtis Jones, Darwin Núñez, Mo Salah in square. Oh, it should be many goals up right now. Konate, simple header to Jones. This is simple. We just keeping. This is a slightly different version. We're playing APS, but you see Darwin Núñez taking pot shots. And it's only a DLF on attack. If he's playing as a poacher, what will happen is he's going to turn around and link somebody up. Now he's coming quite deep, which is okay. If you don't want to see that, then play... if you don't want to see that, because there are times when Darwin Núñez is actually on the shoulder and sometimes it's not, so I just left it that way. Yeah. Total butt. I thought you had an okay game. Right? I was quite worried about Núñez. Yeah. Okay, to me, he seemed okay. Seemed alright. I think they as a whole, the team, they got the issues. Depth is a definite problem for City at the moment. They're gonna struggle. So yeah, we got quite a lot of overloads in this game. So once again, I remember just now how I showed you how you go in and analyze your tactics, right? So you can use the data because next year there will not be a chalkboard. So get used to it. So I would recommend getting used to the data hub. Use the data hub for your analysis. There's some you don't need everything. You just need that the XG table, XG match story, and the last 5 games, where all the shots of the last 5 games. That's it. Those are the 3 that you need. Once you get all 3, you're done. Sold. Yeah. Núñez played for my Wolves for a season and he was terrible. I don't know, maybe Pep Guardiola sees something in him. I thought he was. I was quite surprised he was out on the flanks. Luis Diaz goes wide. That's a terrible. They tried to deliver it to Darwin Núñez inside the box. Okay, I'm gonna change Darwin Núñez to a poacher now because I kind of like the poacher. I know pressing forward and support. Probably pressing forward support, no move into channels. Okay, that's why I'm not using it, but we can add move into channels now. Okay. That's one role you can tweak. That's why I suggested pressing forward. So he will sometimes move into the channels. We got no other choices. Luis is one of his other players that has to pick. He's a firm. He likes Rico Lewis, but at least he's playing some youngster in the team. Luis Diaz wins the ball back. Okay, good. Endo now, simple football. Finds McAllister, goes to Virgil van Dijk. Nice. The stagger is there, so we can definitely get the ball up the pitch. And we can do it quite well. So we're going to risk the tempo now. I look at the stagger. We're getting the ball up really quickly. Okay, so Curtis Jones not playing well. We take him off. Harvey Elliott for Salah. D for him. Diego Jota for... I think we leave Diego Jota alone. Cody Gakpo for... Some fresh legs. Simikas with a free kick. Angle that really well. Rico, he's a fullback. I don't understand starting in defense. The reason he came with no system. Because not very good. Rico Lewis is good. He's a fullback. Don't understand why he starts in defensive midfield. The reason he came up with Stone's system that year was because Lewis was not very good at playing with the back. I think Yeah, the problem for Mr. Pep Guardiola is the fact that his tactical system needs world-class players. That's all. And he doesn't have enough of them in his team. That's it. Okay, we made a couple of changes. We changed the pressing forward AP. I think this is my slot third system. This is slot 3. Okay. Yeah, the slot 3. I think this works. This works for me. I wasn't too happy with DLF on attack. There's something slightly less linky, you know. I don't know. I can't even think of a word for it. Okay, Elliot wins the ball back. Yeah, somebody who's in the zone, but not. Yeah. Okay, he's doing okay. Endo goes wide. Oh, what a terrible pass to Cody Wepo. Chimikash. Kojo Van Dijk. Nice. Okay, there we got a step ladder again. What I want to see. McAllister goes out to Konate. Good football. We got the player wide. We can create the congestion in the center. And we almost did it again. Wasn't too bad at that point. I like the transition. I like the goal that we scored. It was really good. There's a lot of movement. So this pressing forward change is giving this tactic a bit of a bite. Instead of DLF, I think we've gone to the pressing. I think this is something that I could stick with. I didn't really like DLF on attack or support either. I don't want it to drop too deep. Sometimes it drops very deep. I just need it to drop to the AM tier, that's all. But close, not too far. Okay. I still want my 4. There we go. Okay, there we go. So it's okay. He's in the right positions. Okay, we come back to the middle. I'm looking at the transition. Alexander Arnold. Yep. Okay. Good run through the channel. Okay, that's what we want. Moving the Soboslai moving into the channel. That's brilliant. It's not a magnificent, but we're playing it on balance. We're not trying too hard to. We don't want to tire our players out. Okay? Mentality is, you can manage mentality in games. It's brilliant. Okay? You can even go very defensive. Now we go very defensive with the extra. I'm not going to concede goals. Yeah. That is just weird. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I got nothing against the manager. No, I think. Don't write him off. He's having to fit round pegs into square holes at the moment with what has happened to his team. Yeah. All the injuries, definitely not working out for him. Do I have play instructions? Aha! Play instructions. Let's go. Nothing here. Nothing here. Oh, this became AP on support in the end. So this one has got move into channels and roll from position. Here we're going to use a pressing for support. Here we're not using any play instructions. Here no play instructions. Here no play instructions. Here we've got cut inside. We sit narrower to mimic Conor Bradley's inside runs. Ball playing defender, fullback. Virgil Van Dijk, you should take out dribble more. Okay, all right, we should take out dribble more. I mean, you can leave it in and you get a much nicer stagger. You'll get a very nice stagger with this pushing up. So we've got a roaming playmaker and a DM, and this is the tactic that I've come up with for this team. Of course, this AP, it just means that I get the 2 8s here playing as creative players. Yeah, so that's fine. I think that's what's happening with the Liverpool team in the first place. So we've got this. We're gonna up the tempo slightly. I'm gonna up the tempo. I won't ball into box. I'll leave it. And then we've got these instructions: mid block, standard. Sometimes I play a low block. To do that, I just drop this. Play a standard defense, and I drop this all the way down. Okay, but when I do the low block, okay, we go into standard passing. That's it. And the tempo is still quite high, but we remove one ball into box. This is my low block. Set up for the same team, right? We can definitely do that. And then if I want to play my high block, and mentality is independent. I mean, you can play any kind. You can play this tactic on any mentality. Then if I'm playing the high block, we'll just shift all the way up here. Prevent shot goalkeeper, leaving the standard defensive line. And then we can play on positive mentality to mimic his short passing, keeping the ball, the whole thing, and drop the tempo slightly. Okay. You can actually play on a higher tempo, but adjust it based on the number of shots you see getting wasted. Same thing again. Don't change anything else. Keep it the same way. Yeah. No other team instructions. I mean, that's at least what I've been doing with this tactic, man. Kwanzaa Sabin as inverted fullback last night. Fullback. He didn't sub in as an inverted fullback. Subbed in as a fullback. He went up the pitch. He kept his width. So Liverpool as well, depending on who's playing on the right. Conor Bradley sits narrow, cuts inside with ball. Mo Salah does it automatically for some strange reason in the game, but you can you do it. It's up to you if you want to do that. Come inside, sit narrow with the ball. Then you get more Trent Alexander-Arnold playing that position. He's always playing it. And then finally, we've got Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is playing as a fullback. Right? He doesn't actually come inside at all. He just plays out wide, right? I think that was more like, in case of emergency, go break the glass. Yeah, so that was generally it. All right, guys. So we are definitely going to be taking a look at all these tactics. So tomorrow is a big day, bring your tactics, chance for you to bring in those tactics, and we can have a look. And then I'll be playing with tactics Sporting Lisbon. We change tactics every single game. I think Salah should be attacked, though he's the highest positional player in attack. Not really. If you look at the you should look at the average positions. Yeah. There are a lot of average positions being taken by some sites. I don't know if I can go in and show you right now. If you read the Athletic, right, you're probably gonna see the average positions reflected there. He's not the highest all the time. So he's never the highest position player. I can even show you underlapping run where you got an image of underlapping runs as well. I got it here. There we go. Okay. Mo Salah. Here. See, to get this, where he holds out the ball and plays those diagonals into the spot here, right? He does that. There's an underlapping winger coming on his preferred foot with inside runs happening. That's how the underlaps work in the game. Yeah. So, but the thing is this, we are looking at this pattern that Mo Salah is done, right? So he's out here. He does this underlapping run and he plays the ball over. I mean, you can if you want to play him on attack. Like I said, no one is here to suggest. At the end of the day, everybody has their own interpretation. Right? You have your interpretation. I have my interpretation. I might be wrong. You could be right. So that's why I popped up the link for all you guys, right, in chat just now. Go check out the link and upload your save to me, and then we can try out the save tomorrow. Yeah, we'll try out the save if you upload it. The link for uploading it will come tomorrow, I guess. I won't put it up right now, but I will. Or maybe you could get it in time, right? So let me do it. Let me create a request right now, and you can definitely set it up. Let me just do this. Okay. Who knows, right? You guys could actually get it done. But some of you might not even sleep. I know some of this I don't. So let's go create a. Why is it not? Oh yeah, because I'm on a different window that's about the size of one small little window. Okay. There we go. Okay, I'll create one. I need to create it and I'll put it in chat. You'll have a link and then you can actually send that link out to me, man. With your save. Finish the season. And we'll see it for tomorrow. I know it's a wrong cap. My Liverpool cap. One person in my family went and he did it for me. So yeah, this I know if this is just the US of A, man, the MLS. In the MLS. That's okay. Alright, explain the submit. Send your save. LFC. Yes, please submit your save. All right, and then we'll. Today is the second, right? So do it. I think by the. I give you guys a few days to set it up. Okay, and then we will do the save. Yeah, we'll give you a couple of days, and then we'll do it. I'll do the show after that. I'll probably preview some shows before. Right? So copy that, and then here we go. So submit. Okay. Yes. You guys. There you go. All you go. So there's a submit link for your tactic. So there's a deadline because this is a live stream, right? So I will open something up. I don't want it to stay open for the rest of his natural born life. Okay, it's gonna be funny. It'll be very funny if that happens. I still have people sending me their like I had someone send me one of the folders, right? One of the folders from an old show where I asked for submissions. They were sending it to me, but that's FM18. FM18. When I did that, in FM18, you submitted it to me. I got such a shock. I was like, huh? What the heck? So I was like, oh my God, I haven't removed it yet. FM18. Can you believe it? I was stunned. So I was like thinking to myself, how am I going to deal with this? So now I can't exactly go and tell the guy, say, hey, dude, don't do it anymore. People still watch my videos from FM18. That's a cool thing. So I was like, all right, what I've got to do then is make sure that I put a deadline so people don't send it away. No, nothing. Matty, just put up the link for you guys so that you can when you play your save, you can go out there, create the save, get it done, and put it through. That's it. Yeah. All right, guys. I want to thank everybody for popping in today's stream. You guys have been absolutely sensational. I hope that, once again, these are just my interpretation. Of course, I wanted to share with you the thoughts about the stagger, share with you some information that, I got from other websites. The thoughts on how they transition the ball up the pitch and how some of the players are standing. Of course, a lot of this came from websites like Coach's Voice, The Athletic. The past maps actually came from Athletic, and then of course we've got other sources of information too, and I try to gather them so it saves you time. However, my interpretation shouldn't be the one that matters. It's your interpretation that should matter, right? At the end of the day, you guys, it's football, it's subjective. You see something, I see something that could be different. So that's why the save is uploaded. So all you gotta do, go out there, play your save, send it in to me. Your tactic could be so good that I have to do a whole video on it. And I'll look forward to that, man. So thank you for popping in today. You guys have been sensational. Be good. Straight through to yourself. I shall see you guys very, very soon. For now, we're signing off. Good night. Okay, that didn't really work very well because something was supposed to come out. Hey, it's not even there anymore. That's sad, man. That's so sad. That's so sad. That's so sad, son. That's so sad. Bye-bye. That's one thing I didn't do for the show. One thing I forgot. I can't believe it. I'm such an muppet.